And we're back with the first stream of a new year. Happy 2026 for everybody. I think the whole world is now on the new year now. I think what is it? Australia gets it first, and then it works its way around. I think this is all going. Why is the sound thing not going? Hello. Oh, it is going. Okay, great. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling today? I hope you all had a safe and happy evening, whatever festivities you may have gotten yourselves into. Welcome. I don't know if you guys are seeing the updates and what's going on and what's quickly being revealed with this investigation that everybody seemed to be making a real big fuss about, looking into the childcare fraud scandal. We were looking into it a bit last night, and for those of you guys that are in the Telegram group, I had kind of done a little bit more digging later, and the one location that had stood out to me ended up revealing a much more bigger thing, I think, than this Nick Shirley guy had really intended for. And that one location that stood out to me, I'd shared it around, and I was looking more into that, and some other people started looking at that same business. And apparently it had been shut down before for fraud, and they're rebranding and they're shifting it all around, and having that new entrance on the side put in. All of the things basically we were talking about last night that all seemed very fishy. It's all coming to fruition, and it's even bigger than that, and it's probably bigger than the fraud thing. And if anything, like this is the big one. So I'll let everybody join in here. Happy, joy. This is something worth celebrating. Honestly, I'm not very much of a holiday person. The holidays for me, like always, it's always been a bit of a tough time when you have like toxic, dysfunctional family structures and whatever things. And then just this time of year, there's just so many things wrong that go usually this time of year. But this is something that's gone so right. And I'm just so freaking happy that it seems finally, like this espresso, I kept saying, you guys, 2025, this is when people are starting to wake up, but then 2026 is going to serve espresso. Well, it's hot and ready. Like they served it early. Like this was like right in time for the to ring in the new year. So anyways, welcome, Drunken Boxing, One Healthy, Grease, Bombasticaful. That's fun to say. Right on. Welcome. Haven't seen you around just yet, but you are more than welcome, especially with such a fun name. Jared Jaguar's back. Welcome. D. Kazemi. All the usual suspects filing in. Now, I may have prepared you guys a little bit of like a New Year's 2026 espresso gift. I doing this Tyler Chase stuff and listening to some of his poetry, and like his story kind of was resonating with me because when I was younger, I had kind of, expressed and processed some of my trauma and pain through literary art, doing little poems or journaling and stuff like that, doodling, that was kind of my thing back in the day. And I kind of not really revisit it for a long time. And for the sake of happy, most of the time, if ever I was writing anything, it was to process a sad, but this was a happy. This sort of just started coming to me as I was like setting up the stream. It just sort of started coming into my mind. I started typing it out, and I have a little poem for you guys to ring in this momentous occasion. I know it's dark, it's sad, it's so fucking bad. But I think that this is the big one that needs to be revealed for people to see how much rot and infection and corruption and fraud is happening all over the place, nationwide. And the rot is from the bottom to the top. All is being revealed, and they can't fight it. Like, they can't keep up with people revealing more and more truth about it. And people across the nation are doing the same thing, descending upon their shady, sketchy social programs and businesses that are involved in childcare or vulnerable people, working with the sick and elderly, and all these different businesses that they've kind of all been wondering for all those years in so many places that they all just started like guerrilla warfare style journalism, going in to see, hey, can I enroll my kid? I have kids. Can I enroll my kid in your daycare? And just to start poking around to see what's going on. And a lot of these businesses, it's all funneling back up. I got some, pardon me, I got some other stuff prepared for you. We're going to dive into it. But yeah, so I have this little poem, and maybe it's a dark humor in a way, but I think this is also how I process big trauma is comedy and poems and stuff like that. So it's a little funny, it's a little dark, but it's I feel like it's just right for this occasion. So if you guys are ready, I'm a little shy now. I'm kind of getting nervous to even share this, because like I never even shared my shit with anybody, but seeing Tyler Chase being so bold, sharing himself online, putting out his poetry and all those years and just trying to speak his truths the best way he knew, and then being treated the way he was, I don't know, I just feel like the time is right for this, you know? But all right, are you guys ready? Something wicked this way comes. Please be sure to prepare your bums. This might feel a bit like, and leave your butts whole, feeling agape. But uncomfortable truths must be told, if I may be so bold. So gather round while the espresso's hot. The years of truthing are not for naught. And proceeding into this brand new year, may we venture forth without fear, with eyes wide open, speaking words too long unspoken, and may the evil spell cast upon us finally be broken. So there we go. Here. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Happy Espresso fucking day. Everybody waking up. Here we fucking go. So I think probably let's just rip the fucking Band-Aid right off. We're gonna go right into it. So this learning center, you guys, we were talking about it yesterday, if you guys were with us, discussing this little center, the one center that stood out to me the most. This is the original, way back when, of the Leering Center, the Children Leering Center. And this Leering Center used to be Quality Leering Child Care on the front, right? But then, and this was 2022, so within the last 2 years, okay? So closed down, FBI, I guess, came and shut them down. They were Salami Daycare at another time. Let's see if I can get another older view here. It was easier to do this on my phone, I feel like, with the Google Maps thing, to see the older dates, newer dates. Can we see the newer, older? Here we go. Where was it? So, however long ago, they were Salama Childcare. Okay, and we've got the daycare. This was shut down by the FBI for fraud. Okay, that's a fact. That's what happened. The woman that owned and operated this has been seen in photos with the woman now operating the Quality Learning Center that I'm guessing also got shut down. I don't know exactly what happened there, but now that Quality Learning Center, its new entrance is right here. This is the entrance. Okay, I'll see if I could actually, I think most of you guys have seen the other TikToks and stuff going around about this. But I'll show you what the front looks like right now. Hold on, let me just, I might have to send it to myself one sec, because I have it handy here. Oh no, I can grab it from here. Hold on. Oh. Yep, no, we got it. I transferred most of everything over because I was looking at a bunch of stuff just on my phone and scrolling away on Twitter. Seems like that's where we're getting a lot of the more like the proper independent journalism stuff happening for us, which is good. I think that's good. I think wherever we're getting it, TikTok too is not too bad. Like TikTok and Twitter, I think is like, they're happening to be the ones that are doing, like, allowing enough for the independent journalism to happen. So anyways, this is what it looks like now. And holy fuck, that's so loud. Sorry, guys. I don't even know how to mute it. There it is. Fuck's sakes. Okay. So this is what it looks like now. Okay. And there's no updated, like, past 2022 for this view. But now in the front here, there's a business called Albi. It's a little restaurant, and it fills in this front part. Okay? And the child care center, this is another guy, I guess. This is like, they started looking into this. Like, this is some real shit. Pretty much exactly what the guy was saying, Nick Shirley was saying in his investigation of the examples of the reasons why he started looking into specific locations, is the history of fraud, and then being able to just change the address, change the thing, and then everything's cool, right? So they have this new entrance, they get the new address, It's Sweet B or Sweet 8 or whatever the fuck, with the shitty paste on cardboard thing you'd get for a kid's sports game to be like, yay, go kids go. Like, you could have that printed off on a Sunday last minute. Shitty fucking thing, not even spelled properly. Okay? And it's the same woman. They're friends. They're friends. They're all friends. Now, again, I don't want to make this anything like specifically about any specific group or sect. We are focusing on people that may or may not be causing crimes and fraud with businesses involving children. I think anything where people are already profiting off of children on the front end, we should be looking a little more closely at this. And where there's fraud and other organized crime, there could also be more deeper, darker things happening. And where would the best, most perfect place to be also doing crimes involving children? And this particular culture, they happen to be people that have fought for the right for child marriage. And I think just in general, even without the fraud or other organized crime syndicate that appears to be happening here, if you have a culture that's believing in child grooming and child marriage, probably you shouldn't be in charge of any child care in the Western world. I think that should just maybe we just make that a law. I don't know. Maybe. But anyway, so we have had all these people now descending on the property, asking to enroll their kids, and they're like, come back when it's business hours, and business hours are supposed to be between 2 and 10, but it's like 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. People are like, everybody's activating, and it's happening everywhere. Like, I'll have to bring up some more tweets and more stuff that I was seeing as I was going along, so I started sending some stuff to myself and saving it. But anyways, from this now, and again, it's not about any one specific group or sect or, like, this is the focus of what we're focusing on is the child crime. We're not trying to out any one specific group, but any groups that are an organized crime syndicate involving a children. It doesn't matter what tribe, what religion, what language, what color. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's a bunch of replicated Jesuses that all came back, assembling together in one confined space to do whatever the fuck they're going to do. If they happen to be involved in any kind of fraud or crimes involving children, I don't think that's okay. And it's not that I want to condone any violence or harm, or I'm not trying to create an uproar of like, we're not going to do violence. But this sort of journalism where people now in their own hometowns are going to these sketchy spots and being like, hey, I'm just looking for some information to enroll my kid. Like, little Joey wants to go to daycare and make some new friends. Like I was saying, it's like a running joke now. Like, that's how you can tell the people that actually watch the investigation and the people that haven't. Because it's been a pretty big, like, it's like a full-out digital warfare right now with, like, MSM, the, like, government officials. All these people just got made to look really bad. Because obviously this is something that people in their area had known for years. This is something they'd been trying to speak up, been trying to get attention from the representatives, state representatives, all these people. They've been putting all this time in. And nobody was doing anything. And then this kid comes in, this little YouTuber guy, and he just starts kind of knocking on some doors and asking some pretty innocent questions that any parent should be asking if you're going to think about putting your kid in there. Like, hey, I'm just trying to find out some information about your program and, whatever, right? You should want to ask those questions if you're looking into childcare, right? So anyway, somebody had put together a specific map that is like showing the organized hubs of potential fraud taking place throughout the US. Like, that's to the point of it. Like, this is how much people now are investing time and energy to reveal how, like, coordinated and the highest concentration. And, like, we know this stuff exists. We know fraud exists. We know child trafficking exists. Now, how does it happen? How does that all happen right under our freaking noses? Like, $100-some-odd billion a year industry involving children, which, again, like we were talking about, like, a kilo of cocaine doesn't cry, it doesn't need to eat, it doesn't poop, right? So when you're talking about drug trafficking versus, it's a completely different ballgame. It's a lot more risk, a lot more reward, because obviously the business is fucking booming, they're making a ton of fucking money, and it's gross. And who better to run this shit than the people already committing the fraud, already, like, heavily embedded into these childcare, healthcare facilities, and that are then contributing Where's the other one? Oh shit, I gotta grab this other tweet. Somebody then also tracked that a lot of these payments from these healthcare facilities and daycare facilities are going to campaigns, to political campaigns. And I don't want to make it political because it's not about political. This has been happening across the board the whole fucking time. So it doesn't matter. It was happening under all of them. The last 4 years, the last 10 years, the last 20 years. This has been happening. So where the fuck was the one? Hold on. There's one more tweet. I meant to have it up and prepared for you guys. That Elon Musk himself has now been tweeting about it and sharing stuff around, which is friggin' great. It's just like biggering the exposure on what's really going on here, because this isn't just friggin' Minnesota. You got people posting stuff from Washington. They're posting stuff from just like everywhere. I don't know, Oklahoma. All over the place, people are just starting to post videos of their own personal little investigations, you know? So, like these guys, they went, here, I'll play a video for you while I'm grabbing this link.
Can I get papers?
Come back to us when we're open on regular hours and we'll work with you guys.
It's 3:48 on a Tuesday. This is now business hours? Hold on, man. What it?
Like people are getting involved. More people are noticing and checking them on random days. And maybe this is what we need to do, because if there's not going to be regulatory services and monitoring for childcare, like there's nobody coming around to check on them to see what's really going on here. Like maybe this is what we need to do, where, oh, well, apparently it's your business hours. I was going to try and come sign up my fucking kid. What are we doing here? Raided the facility, revoked the child care license of the owner due to alleged safety violations. Receives tons of taxpayer money. There's no fraud going on whatsoever. But, like, all these people are connected, right? So where's this other tweet? Hold on, I got it. I just got to bring it over here now. So this is the contributions. So even, forget the Somali sketchy, but you guys can check that out if you want. But there's enough to the point that they're able to make this whole freaking database with how much they're receiving, how many different facilities there are, and like that just doesn't add up. Something's not adding up, right? But then we have this, and this is just Minnesota, okay? Obviously, Minnesota donated a combined $35 million to campaigns just in the last 2 years. So for whatever reason, in the last 2 years, all of this crime and corruption has been, like, the heat's turned up. They cranked it up to 90. And so, which is weird when you consider that the Epstein thing got shut down, Diddy's behind bars, apparently these major hubs of what may or may not have been an elaborate organized crime syndicate involved in trafficking. Why is it exploding? Was it really just like doing the right thing and shutting them down, or was he eliminating competition? I gotta move this a bit. I think you guys can't see it proper. Hold on, let me adjust this. The sizing of this a little bit. Sorry, guys. Fuck's sakes. So it kind of just seems like they were taking out the middleman and taking out the competition, maybe more so in a way than it being a war on drugs and whatever. You know what I mean? So this future, these are all ones that were on his list. This Super Kids, which was another one that got shut down and then had opened the next day under a new LLC. They had the Salama. There's a Salama that's spelled slightly different than the Salama, so there's probably a whole nother one that's doing the same thing under the similar name. The Quality Learning Center used to be a Quality Learning Center, Inc., but I'm thinking the change of dropping the N was on purpose. They purposely were misspelling it so they could pretty much just set up the exact same thing under the Quality Learning Center that existed at one point, but that's no longer there. Why is that one not there? So then you have, like I said, now you have this business where not only is it a new side, like they opened up on the other side of the wall here, it's a new address, and in the front is a restaurant. So this is a building with no windows. No windows whatsoever. It's a tube light prison for children. Like, this is nowhere you would be going to drop your fucking kids off. This is a strip club. This is a kind of building you have a strip club or a casino. You don't have a building with 0 windows. Like, that's got to be a fire hazard to an extent. Like, where are you getting in and out if the place catches on fire? And there's a divider now between the business in the front and apparently a fucking party in the back. Yeah, and then the windows being tinted with like car tint. So this is the current, and I guess they changed their sign, but this used to say Child Quality Leering Center, which, like, yeah, note that double entendre. That's fun. But anyway, so like people are starting to look into this more closely, because instead of regurgitating, we could do investigating, right? Like normal average people can do this. We're all allowed to do this. We can look this stuff. A lot of this is all public information. This woman went to federal prison for fraud. This quality learning center used to be run by prison for fraud. And everybody's smearing this kid. Okay, now who's she with? Oh, where do we know these people? I don't know. Who knows? But I don't know. Can you guys see this? I maybe need to make this a little slightly bigger. This daycares. Oh, it won't let me. Fuck. It's just resizing that. I hope you guys can see this, but the amount of dollars, millions of dollars that are now that have been funneled through these fraudulent centers that are proved, like, these are proven fraudulent and reopening under the same names and in a slightly different address or slightly different thing, but it's literally the same fucking building. Like this building used to be 1411, right? But now they put the new address, the new building, it's the same friggin' building. And then starting it up again. And they put it different names on paper. They put it slightly different things each and every time. But, and these places exist. And basically, like, people were, like, attacking this kid for, like, showing up and, like, rushing in and, like, oh, what's going on here? But do you not think they hadn't looked to see if they had websites and had tried the phone numbers? And these are the ones that ended up being the sketchiest, that he couldn't get in contact with anybody. And it was really weird. Those are the ones he went and checked out in person, right? So these guys, they didn't have a website before this all hit the news. Like, they've been scrambling to import kids and to put out this website bullshit that, oh, we were closed over the holidays, all this bullshit. So, and then this is just one isolated crime organization. And then, like, fuck, I'm gonna have to probably find a couple of these other tweets. But then they're exposing some of these quality healthcare, whatever, services, and services where they're transporting sick and elderly people, kids, whatever they're freaking doing, but under the guise of all these other health centers. But they had like 60 businesses in one health center that was like, there's not enough space for that to even make sense. Like, they had multiple businesses being registered at the same addresses. Like, there's a lot going on here. And if you guys didn't see we watched the full investigation yesterday, because all these people had all this stuff to say about the guy, but it didn't seem like anyone had actually watched the full investigation. So I thought, let's watch the whole investigation. And as it unfolded yesterday, today, all these people making it like, oh, he was just trying to rush in and film the kids, and like this whole smear campaign. Now we know why. Because the media is embarrassed, the government's embarrassed, everybody just got caught with their pants down, and they're caught red-handed. You know what I mean? I don't want to say something more vulgar there. I was thinking of something a lot more vulgar, but I changed my mind. Because, we should keep it a little serious. I put a little humor in a little poem from the beginning for you guys, but let's try to be a little serious here, too. But yeah, like, and then you look at who has been in charge for longer, who is in charge of the regulatory programs that go and check on these things. Like, what child protective services people, like, is there not monitoring or checking on these places? Because then if there is kids involved, this is where it gets grosser. Like, I hope it's just empty facilities that they're gathering the fraud, like, that they're doing the fraud. Like, I really just hope they're doing fraud instead of what I think that they're doing. You know what I mean? If it's just fraud, then, like I was saying the other day, you can just print more money, make more money, the money can be replaced. But if you're stealing innocence from children and buying, selling, trading children under the guise of a child care business that's also doing fraud, then we really, 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 really have a problem, especially where all that funding is going. This is the yellow brick road. This is the initial point. And some people are already there, and they kind of already know, and they've been trying to say what's going on with the red brick road stuff, but this is the convergence. This is the convergence right here. This is where in the beginning, what is it, like 30 minutes into Wizard of Oz, and they're like doing the song and dance and distracting Dorothy and like, hey, come down the yellow brick road over here. It's all wonderful. Well, it's a spiral of a red and a yellow brick road. Well, this is both right now. This is both. This is where they converge. This is the money, follow the crime, follow the trafficking. How does $100 billion a year of child trafficking happen right under your fucking nose? Right in your backyard. How's it happening? This is how it's happening. There's organized crime syndicates everywhere, across the fucking nation, worldwide. It's not just this freaking Somalians, whatever they're fucking called. It's not just these specific people. It's not any specific people. It's people who are sadistic and depraved and fucked up that they would be involved in trafficking. Like we were just talking the other night too about how there was those parents literally trying to trade their kid for beer and money at a campsite because they were drunk and they didn't want to have to take care of that many kids anymore. They thought they're going to try and sell one. Like it's that simple. It's that simple. Like people think it's this whole big mastermind, genius, fucking whatever thing happening, but like these people are low-level amateurs. They can't even spell. They don't know what's going on, barely speak English, and if they can be pulling off this kind of syndicated crime, organized, whatever you want to call it, it's a gang crime in a way. Like this is mafia shit or cartel shit, right? It happens in every group, and so we're not trying to single out any one specific group. I want to make that very fucking clear. This is everywhere. This is all over. This is 100 some odd 50 billion. It's getting bigger all the time. 100 some odd $billion a year industry on the backs of children. How if not this, if it's not also embedded in with what's already happening, with the crimes that are already happening, the fraud that's already happening? Do you know what I mean? You guys catch it? You guys are following. You know what's going on. That pendulum swing thing is real, and it's getting more erratic. Yeah, we're swinging the whole friggin' other way. Sorry guys, let me catch up. I'm gonna catch up with the chat now. It's been a whirlwind day, and it's like this was the joy. You know the joy you when you're a kid on Christmas, if and ever you ever did feel that, like the joy you're supposed to feel on a special day. You know, that kind of, or your whatever holiday, you're supposed to feel that special, like, yay, today's a great day. That's what I feel today. This is my celebration day. This is a new holiday. We're making a new holiday. The Great Awakening, with served with espresso, 2026. This is the first year, if you guys would be so kind to indulge my new holiday. Snow's overrated. I can't wait. Yeah, I agree to that too. Hell yeah. You're just watching out your window, eating ice cream. Yeah, well, like, I guess everybody that's just, like, been sitting back and trying, you know, like, anybody that's been on the forefront of the good fight is now sitting back kind of, like, watching it all go into play now, watching the awakening happen. It's like, you can see it in real time. People starting to wake up and starting, like I said, to do their own little investigating and looking into these things and taking a walk down the memory lane of some of these facilities, which I think I want to just start going down the list, and we can all just have a look-see together and see what each place has been over the years and why, and like who are these owners, you know, like I don't know exactly with every district or how that works in the States. I'm sure they have different municipal sites that you can look up all this stuff. I don't really know where they found the info. I just saw that this was really weird at this one location, and it felt weird to me, this specific one, when we were watching the investigation. So I'd put out some stuff. I was talking about it, sending some stuff around, and then sure as shit, this guy had posted about the Salama, this version in 2014, and how it had its connection to this version in 2020 that apparently it either got shut down or maybe closed because of the lockdowns and stuff. Who knows? I don't know. Can't really accuse them of something wrong that I can't prove it. I don't know. But then between 2021 and 2022, like, it seems like it was, fully closed. And sometime between 2022 and now, which I'm guessing within the last year or so based on the timeline of what's been going on over there, they put a door in here on this really nice back alley where it looked like a perfect, like, who looks at this and is like, this is a perfect place for a daycare. Right next to where we keep our dumpsters. Right next to the fucking whatever door this goes to. I don't know where, like, who knows what's even in the back here. And then there's like an alley. What, the kids come out and play in the alleyway? Next to the homeless guy injecting? Cool spot. Yeah, let's make it right here. Quality learning. The new door is like right here. Right? So, I don't know which direction now you want to go. That's the long and short of I guess, to catch everybody up to where I'm at right now from reading online, and just watching everybody clashing and trying to make it a political thing, which I guess it is in a way, but it's all of them. It's two wings of the same damn bird. Like, let's figure it out here. And everybody arguing and trying to smear this poor freaking kid, and literally, I think, like, if there was ever a second coming of Jesus, it's this fucking kid. And he's literally on the podcast, this one podcast, saying, like, oh, like, he's like a Mormon, and he's a 24-year-old virgin. He don't drink, he don't smoke, he don't go out like partying or nothing. He is like a homegrown, just a innocent guy. Like, he's a kid. He's still a kid, really, for all intents and purposes. And he's out here just trying to go with a good heart and good intentions, thinking he's just uncovering a little fraud situation. And this kid is like, boom. He just, like, ripped it so wide open. Like, he is the end of Horton Hears a Who. That kid, the littlest who at the end that goes to the tallest tower, and he adds his voice to everyone saying, we are here, all the little people trying to say, hey, like, something's wrong here, hello, we need justice, we are here. He's the littlest who that got to the top of the friggin' thing and was like, yo, what up? And then here we are. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Good for him. But then people are tearing him. Like, if this is not a crucifixion of somebody doing a really good thing and unveiling, like, some of the biggest fraud, corruption in the history of the government, like, how united this is with, like, this shows how, like, do you know how many people need to be complicit for this to even be happening? Like, the child protective services, the law enforcement, the business owner, like, the building owners that are leasing to these businesses, the inspectors that should be checking out these businesses when they're handing them over millions of dollars, and you know what I mean? Like, this is fully embedded. This is the big one. This kid caught a Moby Dick and he didn't even know. He was literally like, yeah, no, I think there's some fraud here, a couple $1 million, like 10 million, 100 million maybe. No, this is part of the $100 billion a year industry that nobody can understand why it keeps getting bigger and why what's happening, how it's happening, where it's happening. This is part of it. I would bet my entire fucking life that this is exactly how those other darker crimes are happening. Like, where else is it happening? Who's making the content? People want to say, oh, well, most of that is online. That's all online. It's content online. Well, where does it come from? Who's making the content? Where do the kids for the content come from? You know? And if these are all kids, little kids, early childhood, where they don't know words, they're not speaking any words, they don't know how to ask for help, they don't know what's even happening. The most vulnerable, innocent people. Like, holy fuck. Anyways, I miss the sun. Yeah, me too. Knew about the fraud for 4 years. Funny, it's just going mainstream. Yeah. Well, and apparently the older guy that this Nick Shirley guy was working with had been investigating for several years, like 9 years, and driven by some of these places like 100 times over the years, never seen nothing. And now we got these guys scrambling to import kids to, like, be like, yeah, kids were here. Well, actually, if there are kids there, then it's worse. It's scarier. And, like, how quickly they're scrambling that way. And then they staged a break-in. This is the same facility that staged the break-in, saying that all their important documents were stolen. Because who breaks it for one? Who breaks into a freaking daycare and steals enrollment documents and paperwork? Secondly, they're showing, like, the whole, like, oh, this is where we kept the paperwork, which is, like, behind drywall. Makes no sense. And then also, like, because it's not where they kept money. And then they're showing how the people broke in. They're like, yeah, they came in through this hole. But it doesn't go anywhere. The hole doesn't go to outside. So they literally staged this really fucking terrible staging of a break-in to destroy evidence before any formal investigation can even happen. You're leering a lot. Are you guys leering a lot yet? Are we leering everything we need to leer about the... Oh, fuck, you literally can't make this shit up. You literally cannot even make it up. That's how fucking ridiculous this is. Yes, okay, sorry, I'm gonna catch up with you guys a little more here. I'm fired up. This is like the truther fucking Olympic Games right now. Like, I'm so jazzed. It's so bad. It's so fucking bad, but it's out. It's out in the open, and everyone's talking about it. Like, they cannot suppress it. Everyone's talking about it everywhere, and then activating in their own community and getting out there and starting to do their own fucking investigation. Because why not? Nobody's stopping you. We all got cameras. We all got eyeballs and fucking, you know. VP let all this happen on his watch. Yeah. Well, it's everybody, though. Like, you don't think this stuff, the Salami Center was 10 years ago. So it's not, like, people want to make it a political thing and point the fucking fingers, but it's everyone the whole time. The whole fucking time. 2015, the FBI shut down Salami Center. And these ladies are friends. One's in federal prison for fraud. So, like, it doesn't fucking matter whose watch it's under. It's the fact that it's happening, so let's do something about it. Let's stop arguing about who pulled whose pants down and stuck their finger in their ass. Pardon my fucking language. Maybe that's so fucking well. Now I'm just getting too extra. Sorry, guys. But you know what I mean? Like, fuck, there's no nicer way to say it. This is all gross. It's all really bad. And now, like, it doesn't matter who stuck it in first. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who bent it over first. Doesn't matter who did the fraud first, or did the trafficking first, or did the whatever first, or last, or in between. It's the fact that it's still been happening the whole time. The whole time. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do, right? Right? Like, now what? Now we know. Happy New Year, Forever Conscious. Welcome, welcome. Welcome any other new folks, and I apologize for, like, I'm just, the filter's off. Like, I've just, you know, with the content I do and with some of the subject matter, like, it's so much censoring, so much dancing around the topic, and not, you know, there's Voldemort's, people, like, those he and they who cannot be named, certain companies, people, places, things, but this is it. This is, like, I don't know what it is, but it's big enough to show that there's compliance and fraud happening right from the bottom to the top, and it's felt like, no wonder there's no regulatory services, no wonder there's no justice, no wonder the trafficking keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and not smaller, with apparently all these hubs getting shut down. Like, it doesn't make any freaking sense. It doesn't make sense. Math doesn't math. But apparently, all these nice little fake bullshit, whatever, centers have been given money just the last 2 years. Millions of dollars going to the government, going to the campaign people, the political people in their city, state, whatever. Going to whatever, like we were talking about yesterday too, but the policeman's ball and all those galas and all the special little contributions that give people some immunity in little towns and little places all across the fucking nation too. Hello? Hello? Are we awake? How's your espresso? Is everybody enjoying their espresso? I hope it turned out okay. It was gonna boil over, like I had to serve it. I had to serve it right now. I couldn't even wait. Couldn't wait till tomorrow. Then it would be bad. Then it would turn bad. We need it. Gotta have it fresh, hot, served, immediate. Oh, fuck. Anyways, let me, I'll catch up once again here. It's a lot. There's a lot going on at once, and I have so much to tell you guys, and I'm also, it's like I'm exhausted, but I'm exhilarated. Like, just since the Reiner thing, I feel like it's the espresso was turned on. They started the kettle when the Reiner thing happened, and now this is it. Hot and ready espresso. You wonder how 2026 will be, feeling like it's going to be a roller coaster of a year. Oh, for sure. Well, did I not say 2025? People are just waking up. They're just starting to open their little eyeballs, wiping the sleep away, like, oh shit, what a long freaking nap, bro. And then, now we have the espresso. Everybody got their espresso? Everybody ready for a quick shot of espresso? To be wide awake immediately, eyes wide open. Fuck. Typical money laundering. Yeah, either way, okay, yeah, there's fraud. Clearly there's fraud, and it just makes it grosser and more worrisome if there are kids involved. It's almost worse now that they're just randomly able to import all these random kids that nobody ever saw kids coming in and out of there. Like, I hope most of you guys have seen the investigation. If not, the last live, we watched it together, but I also linked the original, so you can just go ahead and watch yourself, because we chit-chatted, and it ended up being like 2-3 hours for a 40-minute video. So up to you guys. Watch at your leisure. But, like, oh my freaking good lord. Everything I was saying, though, about how these places operate, how this goes, the ones that stood out the worst to me happen to be the ones, like, I don't know, I'm gonna keep trusting my gutsies on these situations, because it seems like, you know, we got the shine or something happening. We're locked in. World is sick. Your husband are in your 40s, and you've known 2 convicted predators that we have no idea would do. Yeah, well, a lot of time it's hiding under the guise of good, or the guise of, you would never know, the coach at the school, the big brother people, the fucking kids at the gym, the gymnastics coaches and stuff. Like, there was that gymnastics doctor coach guy that was so friggin' weird. Like, it's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere. Like, there are the elite people that are buying the elite versions. Like, you got the Epstein guy lists of people that are getting in with the models and the fashion people, the pageant people, all those, like, those are more the elite level. But where do you think average Joe Schmo goes to get what he's looking for at a budget? Probably you go to a fucking place that has no windows, that's apparently a child care center that nobody sees them bringing the kids in and out. Apparently there's supposed to have been kids there the whole time, but like maybe they're sneaking them in and out under the dark of night. I don't know. Where are the kids? When were the kids there? Now suddenly they're trucking in loads of kids from where? Who knows? Or is anybody checking into where these kids are coming from? That they're suddenly filing in front of the news people to save face? To make up for them lying about the break-in that they destroyed evidence? Because who, please tell me, any time in the history of time, somebody broke into a daycare to steal their forms. And who in 2025 is keeping paper documents? And whoever is keeping paper documents next to a fucking water heater behind drywall? I'm sorry again, guys, for all my swearing. All the censorship and all the, like I said, speaking so nice and proper and professional all the time. Documentary format style. Sometimes I just gotta let the freak flag fly. And I have a lot of words. And sometimes I don't have the words, and the swearing words do good. Do the trick. Does well enough. With the child transporting that went on. Well, and they were fighting. These are one of the cultures that was fighting for the right to continue to do child marriages. Like, what are we talking about? And then you let them over here and have all these childcare centers and give them millions of dollars? Where's the millions of dollars going? If this is a center that does have children going there and being watched there on a budget, like subsidized or whatever, where's that $1 million going? Like, I'm sorry, what? The fucking $3 million to whatever, even $1 million. You couldn't get a better sign? You couldn't spell the address correctly?
So what?
Like, the address is also incorrect. The way they spelt this, it's E-T-T-E. It's Nicolette. Nicolette. I don't think it's still not making it that big. But you, like, come on. Come on. Here, welcome to the strip club for kids. Yay. We got dancers in the back, but you can't see them because there's no windows. So you never know what time of day it is. It could be dark all the time. It's like a dark, dark dungeon with tubular light fixtures and fluorescent whatever. Fuck. Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say next. Thank you, Margaret Wallace. 10 points to Gryffindor. The restaurant in the front, when they did the division of the restaurant and of the other center, because they kept getting busted, and what kind of safety violations? What kind of violations? What kind of renovations did you need to do to even get it back up to code to reopen as a friggin' another thing, but with a new address? What else kind of construction did they do under there? Kind of dungeon did they dig out in the basement? And they didn't need the front end space so much, and they purposely didn't want the windows, and they purposely blacked out the freaking door that looks like it's like a car-tinted window for a drug dealer. What are you selling? What are we selling? Quality leering? Quality leering of the children? I think you spelled leering wrong. It's E-E. They weren't misspelling learning. They meant to say it. They meant leering. Come leer at the children, you freaky suckers. Fuck. Anyway, it's 2 a.m. in Finland. Oh, friggin' Christ. I'm so sorry. Did I make was that my fault? I didn't mean to scare your cat. It is a scary time, though. It's unexpected surprises at every corner. So sorry. Was not trying to scare the cat or the children or anybody. Cover his ears. Cover his ears. And his bum. Prepare the bum. Cover your bums. Forget the wine. Take the cork. And protect yourself. No, seriously, guys, like, this is the big one. This is, if people aren't getting it at this point, like, this is the friggin' big one. Okay, what's one of these other ones here? I'm gonna find what the address, and let's start looking up some of these places and taking just a little stroll around Minnesota. Right? It's like with, John Ramsey and his Access graphics. Yeah? Oh yeah, bud? What kind of graphics? What kind of graphics were you doing? Because it happens that the guy that was taking all the pictures of your daughter ended up being a convictor of conviction. Bad. Predator. I think we could say convicted predator. I think that's allowed. I don't know. I think they're loosening the reins on what we're allowed to say. Like, for a minute there, it got real weird, and you couldn't say shit. But I think things are changing. I hope, anyways, because otherwise I've been saying a lot, and I should be careful. But the lives are always a little more unfiltered, uncentered, as much as I can be, I guess. Want to try to. No, it was a drunk outside the window. Okay, hold on. Let me look up one of these other friggin' places. Because there was, that ABC Learning Center was really weird. It was, in an industrial area. And that was gross. That was strange. And then some of them, they keep closing and reopening, so it can be hard to find the exact address, too. Like, this is where they get the confusion happening. It's like they do this on purpose. They know how to confuse the paperwork and all the shit to slightly change the address. Oh, maybe it is Nicolette. I guess both ways are working now, because I swear it was E-T-T. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They still, I think, were spelling it with just the one L. I don't know. Doesn't fucking matter. Whatever. It's already bad enough, the Leering Center part. Okay, what is it? 6820 St. Patrick's Lane. Oh, that sounds nice. I bet it's where you find the Lucky Charms. Adina. Okay. Is this it? Is this the right one? ABC Express. Nope, this isn't it. And some of them, I feel like, yeah, they're using names that are close enough to other more legitimate places. Because this isn't it. I don't think this is it. Unless it's the house. No, this isn't it. Or unless it's in this little plaza here that you can't go in and see. It's still kind of maybe like an industrial. Hold on, let's zoom out here. But I don't even know if this is the right one now. Because some of them, they're using the same, like a same or similar name to a legitimate business. And then it's like it all gets lost in the wash. Okay, how do we... Go back to the street view here, please. Oh, Grandpa on the internet. How do we... was just doing it. Oh, I just don't want this part. Yeah, it won't let you... Maybe not so industrial. It's more like a conference center, though. That's kind of weird. Like, what the hell? Or is this like a school? I don't think this is the right building, though, for the ABC Learning that this guy looked at. Let me get... Okay, you know what? I'm going to bring up the friggin' video of each place as he was going to it, so we can see what the actual address is supposed to be on the damn building, because that'll just make this easier. Because this is the point. This is all the smoke and mirrors to make this complicated, right? Okay, is this the one? Yes. Okay. But yeah, no, it's like, this is, yeah, Gotham City, man. This is what's happening. You guys, we were literally just talking about the Batman with the subliminal messaging. The one with Val Kilmer and Jim Carrey. What they were saying about TV and film and all that. And with the subliminals of it all. And then there's more cameras watching us more than ever before. And there's more missing people. Yeah, yeah. Like, how are all these kids... that's what I've been saying, too, for, like, since when we were doing the virtual march for the children, and when that LA help sign thing was happening, we did the whole thing about that really nothing came of that. And then, yeah, like, I don't know. They're, like, for being such a mass surveillance society, there's no way all these people can just be disappearing into thin air, and that all this trafficking could be happening right under our noses without there being some kind of, like, complicit, you know, corruption happening. There's more happening here than just, it's not just fraud. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm believing.
Like to
here.
ask where...
Okay, let me, we're just, oops, we don't need that to go all the way. Oopsie. Okay, here we go. What was, like, the first one? It was, like, the ABC, and it was, like, in an industrial, like, who puts a daycare in the middle of where there's factories and shit? Like, I don't know.
They got about 800,000, and in 25th statute.
Okay. Well,
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place
no, did I miss
that
one already?
Hello.
No. Okay.
You have same else ever in history. One of them received 1.
Okay, here we go. Mako Child Care Center, 2328 25th. Okay, let's try this again. Try this one. This isn't the one I was gonna try to find, but if we can just start from the beginning here, and we'll just start running through these places and have a little look see ourselves. 2328 25th Avenue South. And it doesn't come up as anything. It's not claimed as any kind of business. License number. Oh, and they showed everything. Like, they were showing the names of people and stuff. Well, I mean, so be it though. Like it is public information, I guess. I think. Let's go street level then, because yeah, this isn't looking like any kind of business. Oh, it's one of these little houses. That's interesting. This is a daycare? Cool. Cool. Yeah. Where do you keep the kids? Down the back alley? In the garage? Christ. Or maybe that's just where it's registered. Like, this is the shell companies. Some of these are just shell companies that are, doing the do here. That they all link back to. Some of these are all under some, like, there's multiple businesses registered under the same addresses for some of these. Okay, so that's weird. That's definitely not even a center.
Care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year, and there are no children. Every facility that you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
Oh, this is one of the ones that it's like kind of seems like an industrial.
Doesn't even open right now.
Here we go. 253820. Oh, I guess I'm not. See, and some of these addresses, like, they're picking places that it's like it could be south or east, or, you know, like one thing is off and they're searching to verify is leading to them to another place. 2538 25th Avenue South. Is this not in Minnesota? Child Care Center Inc. Oh, did I get that one? 25382. That's why. Okay. It's been a long year, guys. It's already been a long year, and it's only been a day. 2538 25th Avenue South, Minneapolis. That doesn't look right either. 25th Avenue South. Why you gotta make it so complicated? It's almost like that's part of the strategy here. Oh, here we go. Oh, open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Oh, that was the other thing. Some of these businesses are only registered for daytime. Like, they can only be open till 6. So why do you have kids there at 10 p.m. if there are ever kids there? And then we got just dudes hanging out. We got the windows covered, again, like, as if it's a strip club. Not, like, with fun paintings of animals or colorful window sticker things, or, you know, it doesn't really look like very inviting. And then what do we got? A transport truck pulled up in front. Like, what is this? Are you doing, like, distribution? You guys help figure out where the truckers go for their loads? Like, that's the kind of office area this is. Like, automotive offices, trucking offices. This is all very industrial. Why do you have a daycare center right in smack dab in the middle of factories and companies doing trucking? What is going on in here? I wonder. Another, what is this? Let's see, like just a, yeah, commercial, industrial, like in the middle of frigging nothing. What kids are going here as a daycare? I mean, maybe if you're dropping, like we were talking about yesterday, like sometimes people on the way to work, they want to be able to drop their kid off. And sometimes, yeah, they have the late shift, mid shift, whatever. But, the fact that there's all these trucking things around kind of concerns me. The fact that there's so much just, like, nothing around. So if a kid tried to escape, they're just, like, gonna be getting lost in all these weird little, like, everything kind of looks the same, you know? Like, there's not really any landmarks or anything. And it's out of the way of the main city area enough that, and then if most of the businesses are closed at night, I don't know. But it's like factories and shit. Like, this isn't, like, we got a loading dock right here for a transport truck. Right across. Sorry, why? I'm sorry, what? Whose convenience is this for? Is this because you know? And then you got Sunday, what is this? It's a restaurant? You got Sunday breakfast out the side. Sunday breakfast, come eat. And leer at the children. Oh, wait, no, that's the other one. But then what is this? Oh, Fraternal Order of the what? Holy shit, you literally can't make this up. Is this not like one of those, societies, secret clubs? Like those secret clubs that they have everywhere, but it's like a fraternal order of the Eagles with the breakfast and the children right next door. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Like, I seriously, you can't make this up. I'm sorry, guys. I'll slow down. I'm coming back. I'm just trying to give you guys, and maybe we'll look at the aerial view here in a second. I'm just trying to give you guys a sense of the neighborhood here. And, just showing, yeah, that it's industrial. So I'm sorry, I may be going a little quick, but just to give you a quick little tour of, like, this is obviously not residential. We've got, what's going on here? Oh, we're boosting our car. Right down in front. Oh, a triple booster. Oh, I've never seen that. That's like extra points. What do I win? I think that's like a bingo. I think I won a bingo, guys. That's a twofer. Look at that. Boost on boost. Oh, or maybe they're just coming out of this car. No, maybe not. I thought they had something special rigged up there. And maybe they just, the tools came out of this car. But it looks like it's attached to this car, then attached to that. Like, what is going on here? And then, what's this? What the fuck is going on right out front of the damn daycare? Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's 2019. Let's see more dates. Oh, hasn't given any updates since 2019. How convenient that there's like all these years, like every year pretty much, all the way back to 2007, 11, 2013, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019. I mean, I guess the lockdowns, but it's interesting how most of these ones that have been giving the millions of dollars of contributions just in the last 2 years also have not had their Google up Googled. Interesting. Those are the Fez. They were the Grand Poobah. The Fez. Okay, so it's like the Legion. It is sort of a similar idea. Maybe not necessarily the Masons, but like, it's a club. It's a club. Liberty, truth, justice, equality. Okay, that's nice. And they have like a little bar next to the child care center, and free breakfast. You can stay all night. Fun till the batteries are done. And then they have their breakfast in the morning, and then they have their little meeting. That's nice. That's convenient. That was very thoughtful of them. Oh, shit. Yeah, so you guys know, Angie knows, like, where there's a supply, there's demand, obviously. But yeah, so that's fun. That's interesting. Okay. Are we satisfied with this location? Oh, look, it was never there. This doesn't even exist in 2011, 2013. When did this get put in? Happy hour. Oh, we got happy. So it's a bar, live music, literally a nightclub. Literally a nightclub converted. When? 2019. Sometime between 2017 and 2019, they thought, you know, oh, no, this isn't even like, okay, hold on. If we get another angle, maybe we get the more up-to-date view. So what is going on here? Are we even at the right building anymore? Shit. Did I lose it? I swear the up-to-date, this was the building. Why am I not getting the more up-to-date friggin' thing now? We got lost in time travel, guys. Sometimes you're gonna be the perfect angle to have caught the newer. How did we see it? Or is this not it? 25, 38. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure. So I think it's just not showing the newer thing. The newer. Ah, shoot. Oh, no, okay. Oh, friggin' Christ. Thank the goodness. No, that's just up the road. Okay, no, it is a different building. Holy crap. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay, no, I was wrong. But what is this? It's a restaurant. Okay, still, we've got a restaurant. Okay. Oh my goodness. Shit, when you start clicking around too fast, that's my fault. It looked like the exact building, though, and when you start going to previous years, it's like, it can get a little confusing to keep track of where you are. Shoot, so where the heck was I just now? It's still right around the corner, though, from the bar and from the little... Like, it's obviously close enough. Still kind of concerning. At least it's not attached. That was really weird. That would have been really friggin' weird. And I'm thinking, like, how would it be any more obvious? You can't be that obvious. That would be silly. Right, because they're not. So what is it? Just a little up the road here? Yes. Okay, so literally just on the other side of the block. And they do look like pretty much the same building. So breakfast, bar, old man club. The old OGs of the town, all the military whatever people, and then just down the street over here, literally a hop, skip, and a jump. Like, you can see it. You could throw a rock from the front door. So okay, it's not in the same building. That would have been way worse. But literally truck, daycare, restaurant. I can't see it now. We'd have to update the thing. What is it? Harwinning restaurant, and 5 minutes up the road, the old boys club. Still not great. Still not great. I was wrong, but still not great. And then you got just like parking lots and shit. And what is this? The Twin City Filter Service. So you got water filtration. We got all these fancy truck. What a fancy truck you got there, bud. Huh. Wonder how much one of those costs to have your own independent, custom, fancy truck. What is this? Nation Link Transport. Huh. Wonder. I don't know. What else we got? Dumpsters. Oh, good. Parking lot, dumpster, little garages. Like, there's just a lot of crime of opportunity available here, especially at nighttime, and especially with there's no residential, there's nothing around. Another fancy truck, or I don't know, maybe you guys just have fancier trucks down there, but it usually, sometimes these are, yeah, maybe this is a company too. When they got the fancier colors, it's not necessarily a company truck, it's somebody that has their own, they take their own contracts and they own their truck. There's different levels to it. I'm just curious, you know, maybe if somebody wants to go a little deeper on some of these companies, if we start seeing some, because the trucking being in the same vicinity is a little, Gary, Indiana, okay. That place is a little weird now, isn't it? That kind of like, it's like turned into like a ghost town, isn't it? Or something like that. Or maybe it's somewhere else. Sunlight Logistics. And then, yeah, like a lot of just open space. Like perfect opportunity if you needed to park in the back and bring kids around. Like there's just like, and you could park buses. You could park whatever. Like, you know what I mean? This is all very, under the cover of night and industry. And people working in factories can't hear shit. They're in the factory doing factory things, right? Okay, let's come back around the corner. Sorry. Warp speed, here we go. Yeah, okay. I thought I'd read something about it being not so great right now. Well, I mean, there's just a lot of trauma and corruption and exploitation and taking advantage of vulnerable and innocent peoples throughout history, man. Like, it's happened everywhere. It's happened everywhere. Like, I was just talking with my buddy about, like, the Braveheart movie where, like, the Irish and the Welsh and the Scottish all got together because they got tired of the Brits coming and taking their wife the first night of marriage. They called it the prima nocta or whatever. It was like their right to the virginity, or the right to the first on their wedding night. A high up in the British Army or the British whatever would come in and get to take what they want whenever they want, and the people got tired of it, and they weren't allowed to have iron weapons or whatever. Like they were treated like peasants, and that's just where like taxes and stuff started back then, and like they'd come in and start knocking people around and taking their stuff because they could, because they had the armor and they had all the weapons. It's kind of like that. This is kind of what's happening right now. It's a different kind of war zone, and people are coming in and taking what they want, and that includes women and children, man. Like the most vulnerable people, children, in this situation. They're just coming in and, like, I don't know. Like, I really hope there's no children. Like, really hoping to goodness there is not actual children that are ever dropped off at any of these fucking facilities. And this looks newer. Like, so they've painted the outside. Oh, another one of them vans. That's cool. Can't have a daycare without a van with blacked out windows and no signage that it's like, oh yay, whatever daycare center, we're off on a little field trip. Nope. no, we're just some white van. So what is this? Mako, this is not the same one? Like, they really painted the outside and they really tried to...
Out.
And then there's no update, though, since 2019. So this is what it looks like now. They painted the outside, covered up the windows more, like, with just fully blacked out. It's not even like with this one. It looks like a window tint or like a plastic or something put over. And even there, at least it's a little colorful. But then, so if you're trying to search these places too, to check their legitimacy, and if you're going to be looking and using the maps, and you're going to be using these tools to try to do your job to see if these are legit places, it kind of throws things off too. And they're probably tired and underpaid and understaffed too, like most places are across the nation at this point.
All right, let's go in. And the child care.
Okay, so what's the next one? All right, I think we got a pretty good look at that one. This one, did they ever... Okay, ABC Learning Center, 2533 24th. And they're all in the kind of the same vicinity, which is weird. 2533... Okay, let's do it right this time, guys. 2533... 2533 24th Avenue South. So also, like, basically, it's like one street over. They're like neighbors. They're probably connected. That doesn't feel right. 25... 2533 24th. 2533 24th Avenue South. Okay, so what the frick am I looking at? This ain't a daycare. Okay. Oh, look closer. Let's look closer. A lot more trucking, and we can't even see the place. It's covered. It's is this it? Oh, this is like a different one. Okay, no, this is like right before he goes to that other plaza. Okay, that's fine. We found one. Another one. One street over, though, basically, like right in the exact same industrial. Like, what's going on? Who drops their children off here? Like, people drop their kids off here? That's what they want us to believe? Like, I really hope they don't. This is all weird. This is all really friggin' weird. And this, what is this? This isn't even their parking lot. So where... Like, it looks like an office. It's just an office in an industrial area. This is all very weird, you know? So it's like if people just actually started looking at these places, like I think this is just all that's proving right in this moment, is if you start looking at some of the locations this guy would investigated, you'll see that it's a little freaking weird. Like, what is this freaking place? I don't know. It's like a lumberyard. But it's just not the kind of place you would see a daycare. Like, maybe factory workers want to be able to drop their kids somewhere on the way to school. But I still feel like that's just like, there's so many other places to do that. That are not right in the middle of the industrial district here, you know? Smythe companies. Like, there's nothing out here either. Like, it's not like there's like, I don't think there's any schools near here. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, there's school buses. Maybe there's a school. Universe is correcting me. That's fine. Maybe there is a school. Or why is there school buses here? Is it a school? Let's have a look. That's kind of weird if it's not. Unless it's like the school bus depot, because they all got to park somewhere and be somewhere in the between us. What is that? Like, and everybody can do this. Oh. Lincoln International High School. Okay, so we got a high school. So, okay, maybe we're starting to get towards the residential over here. Okay, so maybe not so weird. Maybe there are children going there. But if it's fraud, that's still a problem. And maybe there being children there isn't so great either, considering. I don't know. You decide. You guys make up your own mind on that one. One is Cocoon. What is that, a nightclub? Boutique Without Borders. What does that mean? And you need a buzz to get in? The fuck are you selling? But like, that's weird. That's all weird. That seems weird. What is this? A car wash? Okay. It's a boutique without... Oh, so is it like a car detailing shop, maybe? Can we look this up? What is this? Cocoon. Cocoon. But this is how you investigate yourself, too. Sometimes people maybe don't have the... Like, I'm not nowhere near these places, so this is really all I can do to look into this kind of stuff. So, but nothing's stopping you guys from doing a little, you know, trip downtown and having a look at some of these places, like, in your own areas. Like, what's going on over here, or why? Like, nobody's stopping you from Minneapolis. Oh, Minnesota. I don't know. Where the hell are you? It's not even a registered thing. It's not a business. It's not anything. Cocoon, Minnesota. What's the address? Oh, shoot. I lost it. Ah! I think it's right here. Nope. Poop. No. I don't know. But that's weird, right? Like, that would be something to maybe look into. I don't know. Wasn't bringing anything up. Cocoon. And that's a pretty specific name. So, shit, where'd it go? Is this it right here? Okay, here we go. Here we go. 24th. Cocoon, 24th Avenue South. Not a business. Doesn't exist. That's not a thing. So, what's going on there? Across from the daycare center. What is this boutique without boundaries? What boundaries are we crossing at this boutique? Where there's trucking companies and children. Smells a little fishy. We're walking into the fish market, guys. Yeah. Shoot. There we go. Okay. Sometimes the trucks are covering it. So what's this? What is it? Is anybody else able to find any information about this? Maybe, like if it's in your region, I don't know, maybe you get different results. I'm going to look it up on this. Hold on. I'm going to just look it up on the other map thing here. Boutique without, what did it say, borders or boundaries? Borders. Close enough. Still weird. But this is all very shady. So it's like so clear that so many people that didn't even bother watching his investigation, didn't bother doing their own investigating. Like, it's so easy to just regurgitate what the news is saying and what's going on, but it's so easy to do your own thing. Like, you just start looking at stuff and find some stuff out. Okay, so it has a bit of an online footprint. It's a brand identity. They sell clothes, ethically made in the U.S. It's a private pop-up boutique. They offer in-home trunk shows and online sales. I don't know if I like that. I don't like how all that sounds in the middle of the weird place across from the weird child care center. All of that feels weird to me. I don't like it. I could be wrong, though. I don't live here. I don't know these people. This is how you start poking around and find things out. Like, this is how you start uncovering stuff. Because obviously the shit's happening under people's noses. It's been happening the whole time. Fraud and corruption and trafficking, and that all exists. So where would that kind of thing be happening, would be my question, you know? Where exactly?
I knocked the door.
$1 million.
Where is the
Looks like
address?
little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we?
No daycare
Now
for
we're going
little
to
Joey.
Sweet.
So people have found a bunch of these scams. I called out when, yeah. Well, like, literally, pretty much everything we were all saying last night is coming to fruition. It all seems to be crumbling pretty quickly, and it all leads back, like, to the top. It goes all the way to the top. Where did it go? The amount of funding contributions by these centers, these fraudulent centers, some of them proven fraudulent, like this one, The Super Kids was shut down and opened the next day under a different name and has given $2 million. And this is just in the last 2 years. That ABC Learning Center is where they just were. Like, these are the ones that he's investigating, and then it's all cross-referenced, right? So, and this has been happening forever. So it's not any one specific political anything, right? But it's rot from the bottom to the top. Like, if you start the Salamis, fucking childcare, like that one company, the one that really stood out, the Quality Learning Center, that everybody I think is kind of latched onto too, of like, that's weird. That used to be a Salama, and there's another Salama, right? And that got for sure shut down. Like, some of these were for sure shut down by the FBI, prison for fraud, and then look who's friends. Look who's friends. That one, I don't know, some of you guys are probably already know because you're following the Telegram, but like, it goes all the way back. I was sharing some of this stuff last night, like, yeah, just check it out. Like, it used to be this other place, and the people in the region started like going and looking and researching a little more, and sure as shit, oh, look in there, the company that was the salami place that was then a fucking strip club for children, like, no windows, because the business in front is a different thing. It's a restaurant, right? So there are no windows on the one, and that's used to be Quality Learning, and then it used to be Quality Learning, and then it was like the Salami, and then it went back to Quality. Like, now we're pretty sure, like, maybe they meant to misspell learning because they were just trying to reuse the same name. Total $4 million. It's just past 2 years. It's just past 2 years of campaign contributions. No wonder the cops were about it and trying to just move them along, and no wonder they were so quick to call everybody and so organized, like, just like an organized crime syndicate, as we suspected, right? Yeah, so you guys know, and hey, it's good to see you, DJ Nerkin. Dom beeps every time. It's so fun to say that. DJ in the house, Mama knows, Mud Skippered. Yeah, you guys know. We already kind of knew. It's really just like confirmation, if anything. But it is going from the bottom to the top. So all these mainstream media people and all these government people and all these people that just kept trying to smear the guy and make it out like he's a weirdo for even doing the investigation. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why there was such a budget to smear the guy left and right for the last 24 hours. Incredible. I wonder who's paying for it. And then somebody set up a website, a nice little website, to show you the worldwide, or not worldwide, but nationwide, most high concentrated, it's like total fraud tracked, all the different investigations. Here, actually, I'm going to double dippers, address clusters, so where there's multiple businesses at one address, the full database of the different kinds of loans, the crowdsourcing, I guess people submitting data, it's people all over getting together, working together. Friggin' right. FOIA request generator. This is fantastic. The people that are using AI and all the new technology for good are masterful. And not that it's just Somalians. They focused on this specific organized crime group that happens to be of this one tribe. But there's other tribes, there's other people, think about it, these are like the low-level amateurs too. Like, they can't spell, they barely speak English. Most of them forget what front they're even running. Like, who's at a daycare center and then somebody comes and asks about enrolling their kid and they're like, why? Like, why? What, you forgot what kind of front you're working at? You forgot this is supposed to be a daycare center? Why are you asking me why? You're supposed to be a daycare center. So it does childcare, nursing homes, everything. So here, actually, let me just drop this. It's not necessarily just all about Somalis, and I don't want to make any hate or run any kind of, like, smear campaign against any specific group or sect, because it's everywhere. There's people involved in organized crime that has to do with kids everywhere. And this is just one example that happened to be, like, they ripped the Band-Aid off this one, and we can see the rotten infection inside. So here we go. Here's what we need to do. But it's fantastic. The technology being used for good, like, you see all the slop, the AI slop, and some of the garbage coming out, but then you see something like this, and you're like, wow, there's hope yet. There is hope yet for my generation, the generations before me, and the generations after. Like, we might actually be able to drain the wound, cleanse the wound, and start anew, and not have to keep putting Band-Aid solutions on everything. Maybe we could start figuring it out, you know? So this kid, he's a little hero, man. I don't think he even realized how much he was going to be bringing people together and uniting the situation and getting more people talking about it, looking at it, thinking about it, wondering in their own communities. Like, I'm seeing people, like I said, from like Washington and all these places, Oklahoma, whatever, doing the same thing, posting the videos of them being like, hey, I'm trying to enroll my kid, like, what's going on? And they're like, closed, there's no kids. Like, it just seems like they're empty buildings with no kids for the most part, which let's just hope that's it. Let's just hope that's it, and they're not hiding kids in the back doing weird shit to them, because that sometimes happens, and we know it, and it's a fucking huge business. And pardon my language still, guys, but this is serious. This is serious. Okay, let's check out this neighborhood. This one seemed almost half normal, but then the woman looks like she's been struck in the face recently. A lot of people are noticing. So what's the address on this one?
Care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this time I've spent on this. I put my life at, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received $3 million.
Okay, here we go. Alright, give me a sec, guys. Let me find this. 3641 Chicago Avenue. And we might take 5. I might need to grab another coffee here in a second. We're getting low. We're like running on coffee here right now. 3641 Chicago. Then that gives you guys a chance to stretch your legs, use facilities quick as we go deeper, darker. This one's a little more legit. You search it up and at least the center comes. So this actually might be operating as a legit actual center. This one was one of the ones that actually did seem like more at least looking like a child care center, and then having the outdoor area, which is actually kind of small the closer you look. But it looks like it's got like the little kids, whatever it's called. That kind of table. What's those tables called? Picnic table. Little picnic table. Colorful. Seems a little more future leaders, early learning, yeah. Giving like Mick Martin preschool vibes a little bit though, you know. And then that's one that contributed how many doll hairs? Where do we go? How many doll hairs? Oh, about 6 million doll hairs just the last 2 years. So what else is going on here? And why are they getting so much money? Who is getting the money? Why are they getting the money? What's all going on here? Where is it going? Even if it is a legitimate business, what's really going on? Because for millions of dollars, they got millions of dollars to spend. They got millions of dollars coming in from the government funding. Coming in, coming out. What's really going on here? There can't be that much, like, you know, business can't be booming like that for a daycare center without there being some fraud. Oh, it looks like this window's been smashed in at some point. It looks like it's covered up, boarded up. Or maybe I'm just at a weird angle. Well, let's have a little stroll, maybe. You know, maybe a little stroll around the neighborhood here. What do we got here? Oh, some spiritualist stuff. Castro, Spiritual. At least it's more like residential, though. Like, it seems more like a place that you should have a daycare. Makes a little more sense. Auto service. Okay, just have a look. We can see, peek around the back here. Oh, there's no back. There's a back alley. The back is a back alley. That's cool. That's not a place you could pull up a car and sneak kids in and out in the middle of the night. Super easy. Not at all. Oh, and this road's blocked off. And then what the fuck is that? Okay. We're going this way anyway. You can't stop me. Haha. No roadblocks. Let's go. Shoot, where are we now? Oh, yeah, and then there's the back alley. It's, like, very confined. There's no... You can't really see from the other side. Spooky. That's creepy. Even for being, like, the most legit place, that seems crime of opportunity. Crime of opportunity under the dark of night. Like, why are these places open so late? It just doesn't... I don't know. Doesn't feel right. Even in this is a nice little neighborhood though. Like, this actually makes more sense, at least more than some of the other locations, to be Giacomo pizza pasta. Okay, where are we going here? What are my directions? Here we go. So this is like, yeah, it's like a nice little community. That seems sort of normal. Oh, maybe we did lose our way a little bit. It's a little further up. There we go. So this at least makes a little bit more sense. Little bit more sense. What's this next door? Seems like a pretty big building. Some of these addresses too are like going back to homes. Some of them like big multi-million-dollar homes that are also registered as daycare. It's like people are finding them in different places where it's like even more obvious. Oh, and then we got the alley on this side with a side entrance here where you can open the gate, back in, couple doors. Also very sketchy. All very sketchy. I don't like it. Well, and like, yeah, you gotta look at what kind of things are going on in their home countries. Like, if they're fighting for child marriage and they're fighting for the rights to mutilate children or to do whatever the heck they're doing, like, they don't, a lot of these places don't respect their women and children where they come from. So who's putting them in charge of child care centers when they come over here? Why are all these men hanging around these child care centers? And why do the women look like they've been hit in the face? Like...
Over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No.
Like, looks like she's recently been struck in the face. I could be wrong. Maybe she has a skin condition. I don't know. I'm not her dermatologist. I have no idea. But she kind of looks, people have been saying she kind of looks like she's been struck in the face. And she does. That redness looks like a... Oops, too many. The redness, it looks like she's recently been slapped across the face. She's got even her lip a little bit busted open there. Looks a little bit sus. Just a little bit, you know? So, like, everybody that was just tearing this kid... Wow, good thing he was looking. Good thing somebody was friggin' looking. Daddy Daycare wouldn't stand for this. Yeah. Eddie Murphy ran a legit business. Yeah, they had fun activities. They were fed. They were taken care of. Any of them went missing and they would look for them. The Flash kid goes and disappears. Or whatever. They took care of the poop mishaps. They were on it. They were on it. But then where are the children? Yeah. Well, this is it. And how many people are posting about it? Like, I'm going to find a couple more. Actually, yeah. Like, maybe we'll take a quick 2-minute break here, and I can refill this coffee, and I'll skim through, because I've been sharing stuff all over Twitter all day. Like, if I'm not on here or anywhere or doing a live or whatever, like, I'm always posting stuff to Twitter, and I'm posting stuff in the Telegram group that all kind of goes together. It all, like, is relating to the same great big elephant in the room. So I have more stuff I'd shared that I kind of had meant to bring up during the stream, so I'll grab a few more things here. And yeah, do like quick 2-minute break, stretch legs, grab a coffee, whatever you guys got going over there, and then we'll be right back. So yeah, like, I don't know. I think pretty much, like, the point hasn't been made, I think. I mean, we can keep doing the dive and just keep strolling around and seeing what else is around some of these places. But I mean, I think, like, I think it kind of just speaks for itself for where some of these places are. And yeah, being near these trucking companies, like, it just all seems like a lot of crime opportunity happening. Yeah, it's like a little pixely, fun little between us tune for yous. I don't know. I gotta figure out something maybe better for the Be Right Back tune. Just kind of playing around with it, finding different ways of doing it. No national recognition was chosen as running one of the biggest. Yeah. Well, this has been going on for decades, though. This isn't just any one particular political group. It's passing the baton of corruption. Are people starting to realize that politics is passing the baton of corruption? And it's all of them? They're all the same wings of the same bird, and that democracy might just be an illusion. And the more they can have you fighting against each other, the less you're looking at the people at the top that are pulling all the strings and benefiting for all the fraud and crime and corruption. Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. I mean, I don't mind. We can keep digging down the rabbit hole here, but, like, you know, you guys all have the information and technology, and there's probably places you can think of in your own locale that are weird or sketchy, or, you know, people always been having rumors about things. Like, sometimes those, like, are little urban legends and stuff are based on some truth, you know, and if people have been talking about it for 10 years, and people have been trying to talk to the government about it, and people have been trying to, you know, maybe it does take it. It'd take us, like, take the little guy, this little YouTuber guy going and doing his own little investigation in his own area, you know, maybe that's what it's going to take, is people doing it, and then people come together and do incredible things, like this scan site that looks like they've got it really, really well organized. You can look at it through politicians. Apparently there's different ones. It's all of them. Oh, look at that. Pretty much evenly both sides. Who knows? They don't necessarily know, but they know, like, they're tracking it and updating it as they go. Oh, that's just Arkansas. That's pretty much half and half. So is it one side or the other, or is it all of them? And if they have the pitchfork people arguing with the torch people, they're going to forget that it's the people that have enslaved them that they're supposed to be going after. Well, let's look. You guys want to go on a little tour? Oh, we want a little tour. Oh, this is all they got so far. Okay. So they haven't got to Minnesota yet, but they, like, this is a joint contributions of people finding the information in their region and then adding it into this big database. Everybody's, like, the cross-referencing and double-checking probably, so it's not super filled out yet, but really, this is pretty fantastic. And I guess some places are more one-sided leaning than the other, so you're going to see some more of the certain people than others in some places, but this is pretty even. This is pretty evenly. Colorado, look at that. And you guys know any of these? Who Hickenlooper? Is that the guy? Is that the director guy for that Brittany Murphy movie? Or whatever? Hickenlooper? What a fucking name. Senators, representatives, all of these people benefiting from fraud. Right in your hometown. Everywhere. I mean, wait till they update this more, I guess, and keep an eye. Because it's not... Oh, American Samoa. What does that even mean? Okay. But, you know, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. How is there that many government people in Alaska? That's weird. But I guess it's just, like, going by where the corruption is, too, and they're, like, slowly but surely adding to it. I don't know. It's kind of a neat little site to poke around, though. You know? You can go by organization. Here we go. You can go through and just see if there's any businesses you guys recognize. Total funding, Nashville, Tennessee. That's the biggest one so far on their list. Oh, Charlie's Holdings, PPP recipient, Nashville, Tennessee, $12 million. And with loans forgiven. So this is all pretty interesting stuff. Where maybe some of it's just legit business and the way it goes sometimes. But I don't know. Hotel companies, restaurant chains. All these people that seem to be benefiting from some kind of fraud. Oh, McDonald's election. Okay, not McDonald's. But that's interesting. Over 100,000 companies getting loans to do whatever the hell they're doing that nobody even knows what they're fucking doing, half of them. Fraud prone, look at that. Oh, none such yet. But they're getting prepared. They're preparing for more data to be absorbed into their system and for it to seem to start fitting everything together, you know? Got to get the data before you can really figure it out. Look at that. Transportation, wholesale, manufacturing, construction, all these companies that could be working hand in hand as part of a bigger organized crime syndicate. Oh, this one's got more states. I guess depends which section you're looking at here. Well, since we're doing Minnesota, do they got Minnesota? Here we go. Oh, look at that. $12 million to some communications company that who even knows what half of these people do. Food industries. Okay, milk companies. Some of these, like, yeah, trying to get through the lockdowns, and if you had to dump a bunch of your product, like the milk people and stuff, maybe. Goodwill got $10 million just from the one in, like, what is that, their headquarters, St. Paul, Minnesota. $10 million the Goodwill got. And they get everything by donation and sell it back to poor people. That's cool. That's really cool. What's Young Men's Christian Association of the North? $10 million. They got $10 million. What do they do? Beet Sugar Cooperative. What the frig is that? What are you guys doing down there, man? Holy crap. Mortgage and equity. We got health services, landscapers. Like all these people that could be working all together now towards one common goal that they all benefit from in the way that some clusters of businesses do. It's like how the Food and Drug Administration are a conflict of interest. The food people that make you sick are going to sell you the shit to make you less sick. Like, they're not selling it, but you know what I mean? They're the people saying what's okay to eat are going to be also the people benefiting for your sickness, right? So, like, that doesn't make any sense. Got some pizza joints. $6 million for a little pizza joint in Maple Lake, Minnesota. That's weird. That's interesting. So, you know, like, I don't know. We could keep going here, but honestly, guys, like, you got the links. You got the websites. Jump on Twitter. Like, I don't know really what the other sites look like what Meta's like right now, and even TikTok's not bad, but Twitter is where, like, you get I feel like you're getting more of the real news at the source. More healthcare associations, yeah. So I think, like, just if you get out there, get your eyes wide open in your own locale. Like, and, you know, I'm starting to think about places near where I grew up or just in and around and, like, some of the rougher areas in and around in Canada, you know? Like, there's major metropolitan areas that have all kinds of weird shit and weird places that have, you know, the legend has it, or whatever, right? Yeah, man. Well, that's it. Yeah, see you know, and hey, good to see you, Abundantly Empowered. You made it. Probably going to be just wrapping her up soon, because I think, like, really, what more is there to be said here? Like, this is it. This is the espresso. Remember I kept saying about the espresso is going to come in 2026? If this isn't a double shot of espresso, I don't know what is. Like, I think you guys get it. I think I'm just we're just going in circles now, you know? And we don't need to go in circles. You guys got better things to do, too, I'm sure, with your day. Everybody's, like, trying to do their New Year thing and trying to, like, deal with their hangover or whatever from yesterday, or just the hangover from dealing with the holidays. Like, congratulations, everyone. You made it through the gauntlet of the holidays, if nothing else. But, yeah, I think we could probably just leave it at that. I don't know. I think that's really it. And I got to finish off this, I was working on an update for, like, a post to let you guys know what's going on with the series, with the Reiner thing. And I might just wrap up the Brittany Murphy thing first, because it was pretty much done. It was, like, the final episode, the 7th episode is done, and it was pretty well close to done when the Reiner thing came up. So, and then the second episode for that is just about, like, it's pretty well started to be rounding out. But if I could get the Brittany Murphy thing off the stove, and then finishing off the John Bonet while I'm finishing and working on the Reiner thing, and then still kind of be coming out on the same schedule I'd had, because I had kind of things planned and prepared and ready to go and to be ahead of the schedule going into the holidays and everything. But then obviously stuff just kept happening and I couldn't just ignore it. So here we are. You got too close. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it's like Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut, right there. That's like, you get the little warning. They show that in that movie. And people get their little warnings, and then they get a warning shot sometimes. Like, sometimes something will happen to somebody close to you, and you don't know why or how, and it's maybe because, you know, they're really just trying to warn you in a way, too, right? Oh, for frick's sakes, you know? Yeah. I know, Don Beebs. Like, that's the most frustrating thing about this, is that's still a possibility. But I'm hoping that enough people are now activated in their communities, and it's going to be firing off more and more. Because, like, there are other posts, so we could start going through... Oops. You can start going through more of the posts of, like, other people finding different stuff going on. Where is this other guy? This Nick's... I do have more language. Like, we could keep the thing going here, but I think, like, if you guys just get on Twitter and start searching around your local area, like, it's going to show you stuff more to do with you, where you are, too. Depending how you have your settings and stuff. So even to just start going on Twitter and just seeing what's going on with it and share stuff that has to do with your community. Share it over from Facebook or from Twitter to Facebook and stuff, because a lot of that stuff is really suppressed on the meta side. From what I knew, anyways, the last time I was using it, that was part of why I got off there. While we've been talking, I was watching Little Joey. Yeah, is Little Joey ever gonna make friends at daycare? Like, the poor guy. Poor little guy. That's literally, like, the code that people actually know, like, that they actually watched the thing versus people just talking into their ass and regurgitating the MSM. It's like, but Little Joey, like, people making the Little Joey jokes. That's what's sending it right home for people. It's so funny. So good. Gotta love it. You gotta still be able to have a little bit of joke, like, joking along with all the darkness. Like, when you're, like, always staring down the dark rabbit hole and standing on a red brick road, you know? But, you know, it's hard, too, because it's like, the closer you get to the city, the closer you're getting to, like, farm animals with a PH. You know what I mean? It's, like, a different kind of farmland out here. Like, different kind of animals in the zoo. Human zoo over here. You know, over there. Over in the city versus over, you know. Like, who really knows? Who really knows where is the best safe place to be anymore? Because it seems like it doesn't really matter where you go. Doesn't really matter where you go. Like, I'm starting to understand these digital nomad people. My goodness. Maybe that's why I need to start saving towards. We're getting a, like, little nomad situation with, like, the, like, wireless stuff, solar and stuff. And I can just go start investigating things all over the place. In person. And do live stuff, live streams and stuff along the way. And I don't know. One day, maybe, because there's, like, this is the problem, is people will forget about it. They will just move on to the next thing, and the next thing needs to be the same kind of thing. Like, we need to keep hammering it home, and letting people realize, like, how prevalent this all is, and that it's everywhere. It's everywhere, right? Start a nomad gang. Yeah, for fear of becoming, like, confused with a commune or a cult or something. I don't know. We don't want to be confused with a gang. We're not a gang, but I think we could be like a collective, a nomad collective together but separately. That I'm into, because, you know, we don't want to end up on a list or something, like an FBI watch list, because we're like gang related or something, you know. We don't want to become the evil that we're fighting against. You got your, yeah, everybody's, I think, yeah, people from small towns, there's all kinds of horror stories. But it's just kind of different. Like, it's different. Like country horror stories versus city horror stories are just different. It's a different flavor, but it's still horror. It's all horror. Shock and awe. What? Oh, well, report that shit. There's cybercrime.tip.crime stuff. There's, like, websites for that. Cybercrime. Like, the FBI.cyber, I don't know, search cybertip, FBI, and punch in everything you know. Yeah, share it around. It's really all you can do with that thing, man. Like, fuck, that's part of why we need to look more into these things, because, like, it all goes hand in hand. And some people are like, oh, this is just to distract from the Epstein thing. Like, how is this not the same as the Epstein thing, just a different level? Like, we're talking, like, the elite level, but then we're talking average Joe level here. And it's rot from the bottom to the top, man. Like, it's all part of it. Oh, yeah. Nope. My bad. Ah, frig. Yep, that's on the list. That's on the list. In 2026, I will get a new microphone. I had this other microphone, too, from when I was doing gaming streaming years ago and some other shit, and it maybe was a better one that I could have switched to, but I have no idea what happened to that one in a move. And this one's supposed to be nicer and better, and it's actually a really decent microphone when the button works. But I also, like, it doesn't really matter, because like, when I wasn't really streaming as much, it didn't matter, because I'm not really using the button. I'm doing recording for a video, and it doesn't matter. It's just on, right? So, yeah, I did, and I was just rambling for, like, 4 minutes to my damn self, like a moron. Awesome, yep. But every time, like, I've got a bit extra to, like, put towards something, there's other stuff I gotta upgrade or update or fix or whatever, and, like, with all the new software and tech and whatever, I ended up having to do new battery. The battery was getting bloated in the thing, and I needed a bit new RAM to, like, keep it going. It's an older thing. Like, I've had this computer now for almost, like, 5-6 years, I think. And it used to be a computer could last like 5-10 years. Now you're lucky you get 3 to 5 out of it. But lucky enough, I'm able to go in and I don't mind. I'm comfortable doing upgrades and stuff myself. But it all costs money. It's all time and money and energy. And when the bloated battery thing happened, it was like, okay, well, may as well replace some stuff inside while we're in there. And then the microphone thing kept getting pushed back. So I guess that'll probably be something sometime soon. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to myself for rambling to myself for a couple minutes there. But yeah, no, that's everywhere. I don't know where you heard me last, or I might have bumped it as I was moving it, because I thought it was on and then I was talking, and I think I touched it, like I bumped it as I was moving the microphone over, and then it muted it. It's touchy. It either works or it doesn't work, or it's so easily working or just not working at all. It's ridiculous. But I was just saying, like, that stuff's everywhere, and like, I think with the Piper Raquel I think it was Piper or Popper, Raquel, and then there was a couple other people that it was like, that was a big thing a couple of years ago too. People were getting freaked out about the kind of content that was coming out featuring kids, and like that FBI cyber tip line. I think if you just search for FBI cyber tip, like if you see anything that's weird or seems weird, it just feels weird. Like, I'd rather be wrong and embarrassed than right and not done anything at all, you know? So any of these weird kids channels, any like weird stuff you see on TikTok, Instagram, I don't know, like a lot of these on the foreground, they're marketing their kid, and then in the background, they're like giving paid requests, like that Popper, whatever, Raquel kid. The mom was like sending her clothes to like this random donator and stuff, and like underwear and shit like that. And then like, I don't know, there was paid requests and stuff. Like, we didn't get too deep into that, and the mom was kind of batty, and there's so much weird shit going on with that too. But yeah, like a couple years ago, and when all that was starting to seem like a big issue, that was something like you could spend all day every day almost like finding stuff and reporting it. Fine, you see it, you report it. You see, like, if you want to go down that rabbit hole and do that, that's another good fight, you know, that needs to be fought. But it's from everywhere all the time. And then where are the hub? Like, where is the biggest concentration of this stuff? Because if you can take down big hubs, then it's going to make it a lot easier to find these littler situations and start regulating and protecting the situation from a controlled and contained level, you know. But right now, it's like, forget crisis, we're having an apocalypse. This is a Trump apocalypse. Like, the amount of shit that's being revealed, the amount of people, like it's not working anymore. Whatever's been happening for decades is not working anymore, you know. Every red flag, yeah, I can imagine. There was a couple of them, I can't remember the other one, but there was Bebop. I put in some reports on that, and a lot of people are talking about it, but then some of them, they don't ever get shut down, because they're technically, on the surface, they're not doing anything wrong. It's the same as like with the Dan Schneider shit, with the feet thing. Technically, there's nothing overtly inappropriate on the surface to do with feet and kids. On the surface, it seems like a little funny joke, but when you consider people that are into that kind of thing, and into children, when you put those things together, you're creating content for a niche clientele that is getting gratification from content involving children, right? So there's a lot of people that cater to that with their children. Like, what's the one? Fuck, I don't know. There was a bunch of them, though. That was a whole thing a couple years ago, and I did some live streams, and we were all talking about it, and I had everybody out and around reporting everything. Like, go to this channel and check out the stuff, and if you feel it's inappropriate and that this should not be on the internet, like you would do with your kid, report it. You know, anything you see out there. Like, I would kind of point the direction of, hey, like, check these guys out. This is what we're talking about. But other than that, man, like, what else more can you do? You know, like, everybody's got to kind of be in unison on that same thing. Like, who cares what politics? Who cares what language? Who cares what race, religion, gender? Fucking who cares? We got to be able to unite on at least one thing as a human race. And I think probably this would be a good thing for people to be a little more united against this kinds of evil, you know? Because, like, obviously these people don't care. The people are sitting back collecting millions of dollars. You guys are paying taxes, and then these guys are doing fraud and committing fraud and making all this money, and all the people at the top, they don't give a shit because they're all benefiting. They're all benefiting, and it doesn't matter who's in power. It doesn't matter who is representing your locale at the time. Like, this is the baton of evil that just keeps getting passed along. And anybody tries to do anything about it throughout history finds themselves no longer with us. You know, like JFK was trying to talk about what was going on with the CIA and the experiments and weird shit that was going on, and they were trying to start wars here and there and everywhere, and it was all this crazy stuff. Look what happened. He caught a bullet. Very, very purposely assassinated, and the CIA admitted that they had part in that. So it goes all the way beyond. Yeah, like, I can't stress it enough, and I feel like I'm like sometimes I'm like a little repetitive, and I'm a little bit, you know, for some of you guys that have been following long enough, it's like we're screaming at a wall here sometimes, but you know, eventually it's going to break through and more people are going to get it. Yeah, but then you get the comments, like, I get blocked saying a comment that's not even bad. There's nothing inappropriate or bad about it, and I get my comment blocked. But then we got Karen out here with little Susie shaking her her tootsies for the wootsies. Like, what's the nicest way to say it? Like, they're fucking cabaret for fucking kids, man. Like, what is this? They got about, like, the John Bonet stuff. Like, you look at the John Bonet stuff now, and you look in retrospect at everything that was going on with that, none of it was appropriate. Even if it wasn't, like, what people think that it is and what was really going on there. Like, even if that's not exactly the case, probably, like, dangling your kid, like, putting meat around your kid's neck and dangling it in front of werewolves, they might get bit. They might get bit. So maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Not to say it's a victim blaming, or not to say, like, don't confuse what I'm saying here. I'm saying that if you're dressing your kid up provocatively, way beyond her years, putting makeup on her, and you're getting her to do little freaking TikTok dances, you are throwing them to the wolves before they even know what's going on. They don't even know. They think they're making fun videos with their mom. But mom's getting fucking $1 billion selling your panties to fucking whoever. Like, what? Like, it's fucked up. It's getting really fucked up. Oh, no, I do not. But you do PayPal, or if you want to support it with Patreon, or there's lots of online ways if it's what you would like to do. But yeah, no, I don't have any of that. It's better that people have no idea where I am, probably, for the amount of danger I put myself in speaking about certain things. Like, it's a normal day, you're getting some veiled threats, but sometimes things get cranked up real large, so I don't, people don't really need to know. Anywhere. I might be in Canada. I might be somewhere else sometime. Might be here or there or nowhere. Might be doing the digital nomad thing sooner than later, which I kind of, I was thinking about it even before the lockdowns and looking into some stuff. But the world kind of got turned upside down. And I wasn't my best self for a little bit. My mom passed away over lockdowns, and there's just like a lot of crazy stuff going on. The whole thing was getting turned upside down, and got drinking a little bit, got a little off course for a minute, but as long as you get back to where you pick up where you left off, that's the main thing, right? I think a lot of people are going through it over the lockdowns. A lot of people are dropping dead, man. Like, the amount of people, and it had nothing to do with the cold flu thing at all. It had to do with just like the lack of access to services, or the depression because of losing a job they worked, or business they worked for their whole life, and then in like 3 months the shit's gone under, and like, a lot of people just really couldn't get through. I've seen a lot of really good people it went south real fast, like within 6 months, having a real bad with just real bad narcotics and shit, and then like had gone from having their dream job, like, oh, I get to be a chef and do my own menu. I've worked up for this my whole life. It's a new restaurant's gonna open. I get to do the thing. Very excited. Went from like the most excited top highlight of his friggin' life to no, place isn't even opening. It's not even gonna happen. You don't even have a job. You're not gonna be able to do nothing with your life. Everything you've worked for is going down the drain. You might not even have a place to live. So he overdosed. He overdosed within 6 months. And a lot of that shit was happening left and right, man. So I think the fact that people made it even from the other side of that, after losing people, losing the comforts of life or whatever that you may have had before the lockdowns or whatever, a lot of different things went crazy, went sideways. So, I'm not really ashamed. I think nobody really needs to be ashamed that sometimes you gotta dull the noise, It's just what it is. It's just what people do. Some people do that sometimes, and not that it's right, but as we all are talking about it more and are able to be more open, it's better to do that than to be suffering in alone, in silence. And that's why people self-soothe and self-medicate, right? Because it's like there's all this stuff that maybe you can't necessarily explain it, or people don't necessarily understand, or so I think just being more open and having more open discussions about this kind of thing is so important. That people have trauma, people have issues, sometimes people get a little off course, right? And that's okay. As long as you're always going with a good heart and good intentions, and you're keeping those wits about you, that's the main thing. It's when people turn to evil things and criminal things to be doing, like, it can really go bad really quick. So I'm not trying to condone self-medicating or don't just try to avoid heavy narcotics in general. Probably, even ones given to you by lab coats. Just try to white coats or whatever. Just try to avoid that kind of stuff, because we already got enough stuff to worry about, and that seems to be causing a lot more problems too. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're kind of turning a corner here. I think the worst of the worst, we're kind of seeing it. We're getting it. People are waking up. People are starting to get back together. People are starting to get their lives back together, their mental stuff back together. Because like shit, that whole lockdown thing was like a trauma in itself for a lot of people too. It was destruction of like childhood development. It threw people off course of like their formative years, you know, when they should have gone from high school to college, but then everything's online, and like there was a lot of really screwy things happening to people, right? And all of that damaged people's mental wellness and morale, right? Yeah. Yeah, oh, you're too sad about the socioeconomic apocalypse happening? Like, you're pretty much screwed and you don't really know what to do with anything because there's no certainty or stability about anything? Have you considered assisted life ending? Have you considered ending your life? We'll help you. It's fucked up. Yeah, exactly. That's what we got going on here. So obviously something needs to change. If that's the answer to the socioeconomic apocalypse, maybe we could do something differently. Maybe we could try something different. Maybe we could just talk about it. Maybe we can just be a little more supportive, a little more open-minded. And then, yeah, start working towards eliminating some of these infections of society. Maybe. Maybe we could try that. I don't know. But it's exactly, like, and, you know, a lot of places, people are either over-medicated or, you know, they're not given enough information before they get their kid on the thing. And, like, even this Nick Reiner thing right now, like, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, and it's this, and it's the drugs, and it's that. But, like, how many people are ignoring the fact that pretty much every medication for mental health, it's, like, the warning is it may cause self-harm or harm to others. Like, thoughts of hurting yourself and others. That's one of the major side effects. So when all these things happen, oh, no, it's it's the politics, it's the AI, it's the spoiled rich boy that couldn't fucking whatever. Like, all these people have all these excuses. Maybe it's the chemicals. Maybe it's the concentration of chemicals down the line and mixed with whatever other chemicals we're getting in the water and the chemicals in the everywhere. The air. Like, shit. I don't know. Maybe we could start reversing some of this stuff when we start realizing what, I don't know. I don't know the answers. I know there's problems. I can see a lot of problems. Do I know the solution? Am I an expert on any of it? No, I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I'm just another weirdo stranger on the internet, just like any of you guys. Yeah. Yeah, and the dependency, it forms a dependency, and that's the biggest, sickest part of it. That people, it's like, they're like, oh yeah, they're an addict. Well, no, you made it that they'll get, like, violently sick if they stop. And they might die if they try to abruptly stop. And it's almost impossible to just wean yourself off when you're, like, hopelessly dependent and sick. Like, the whole thing is sick. It's a sickness. You know? And who introduced it all to begin with? Like, they're like, oh, it's street drugs, and oh, it's addicts. Well, who was putting it in toothache medicine for kids? Like, less than 100 years ago, you could get heroin and cocaine in cough medicine for children. You get opium, high-dose laudanum, opium, whatever, quaaludes, and stuff, like, because the stress of being a housewife. Here, just fucking drug yourself. You'll feel better. So who started the addictions? Who started it all? Is it genetic, or is it that all the forefathers were just pumping everyone with cocaine? Fucking can of cola. Well, bottle of Coke. It used to be bottles of cola. They used to actually have cocaine. Everybody was drinking it, snorting it, putting it in their cough medicine, giving it to their kids, toothache medicine, cough medicine, whatever medicine. So who created it? Who created the problem? And we're going to listen to those same people about fixing the problem? Maybe the farmers need farm animals to stay in business, and we should get out into the pasture and escape. It's time to run, guys. Fuck. The gate is open. I'm showing you the way. The gate is there. Fuck. Not saying stop taking your medication or doing anything fucking radical, by the way. Do not do that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Do not take my medical advice. I do not know what's right for others. I know what works for me and what's best for my own medical situations that I may or may not have at any given time. I'm not saying that you should do what I do. I'm saying you should think about what's best for you and be a little more informed and researched and try to avoid getting on anything that's going to cause a dependency, a lifelong dependency. If you know, if there's a better solution that you feel sad before going to the point of taking a medication for it, try to do that first. You know, just try to find other options before considering getting drugged. I guess is all I'm saying. But don't take my advice. This is not medical advice. I'm not a licensed professional. I am a weirdo on the internet. Make sure I make that clear, you know? Don't even get sued or anything here. Yeah, we have. Well, you gotta think, the 1% controls the resources, the wealth, the media. It controls everything. It controls everything. So what does that say? What does that tell you? Like, if everything's under that much of a control, is anybody really free? Does anybody really know what's going on? truthfully, or is it all just an echo chamber to continue keeping people under a certain slumber, you know? Yeah, you guys know. You guys already know. Yeah, at a different time, maybe, yeah, to have the access. It'd be interesting. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah. But you gotta think, like, is it genetic, or is it just that's what everybody was doing, and that's what happened, and then it's just come down the line, you know? And now we gotta deal with the problems that all created. Yeah, Nestle. Oh, don't even start me on that. Yeah, the whole formula. Yeah. And then all the kids were gonna starve if they didn't start buying the friggin' formula, but none of them could even afford. Yeah, no, that was twisted. Awful lot of that. Awful lot of companies coming out on top after doing really awful things to people, and sometimes it's in other countries, but sometimes it's right here on your own soil, you know. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. I hate PDF. Yeah, you know, we're all trying out here, I think, and if we can bridge the gap between generations and see that we're all having the same issue, that we're all a victim of a broken system, maybe we could all work together better, because it's not necessarily the boomers' fault. It's not necessarily, you know what I mean? Like, we can say that. We can make those observations. In some cases, maybe there's a little bit of a backwards disconnect there, because the technology and things have progressed so quickly in such a short time that how can we all stay connected on common ground? But if stuff like this, if we could all start to realize, and with the history, and really use that generational trauma as a good thing, like turn it around and alchemize that into something that can do good for people, or educate other people, or support, I don't know, you know? Just start talking about it. Maybe we can all talk about it. You're not powerless. It's not a disorder. You're not diseased. The disorder is trauma, and how we are mistreating it the whole time, and how all this stuff is happening. Harm and trespasses against children and vulnerable people all over. We can all see it now. So, like, if we just all get on the same page, maybe. That'd be cool. Yep. And I think a lot of different places are like, it's like an experiment. If you look at the way some places are set up, and some of the, like, different belief systems, and, like, just the way things are kind of angled in such a way, it's like, I don't know. I feel like a lot more of society is kind of an experiment, and we're all living through it as an experiment more than we know, you know? Like the way that, I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into that conspiracy side of things, but, like, the way that ghettos are formed, and how they kind of, like, pushed for crime in ways, and introduced crack cocaine to certain communities on purpose, you know? Like, you gotta think where all this shit came from to begin with. Like, who brought it in the first place? Where's the origin? Is it everybody's an addict and everybody's a problem, and oh, that's the disease? Or where did it come from? And why? Who thought that was a good idea? Who thought we needed cocaine and heroin and everything? And then we wonder why we have an opioid apocalypse. Right? So I don't know. You guys, like I said, I always say it, make up your own mind. Do your own research, draw your own conclusions, because, like, who really freaking knows? There's a lot of stuff that's smoke and mirrors, and what you think it is isn't necessarily what it is. What is this right across the road? Now that I'm thinking about it and looking at it. Oh, it's one of those. Of course it is. Of course it fucking is. The one religion that, like, barely anybody knows about, that a lot of elitist type people have, and they have really weird gatherings and feasts with children, and oh fuck, this is a whole situation. Of course it is. Of course it is. Anybody heard of this religion ever one time? Anybody know what this is? That's the one they don't tell you about. They want you to be focused on the Freemasons. Maybe one day we'll have a little red brick road about the Baha'is. Oh, I might have special insider information about all that shit from my own dirty, scary, horrifying childhood that I still can't put my finger on exactly what was happening with all of this. But baha'u'llah, their little fucking... of course it is. Of course it is. Cool. Thanks, universe, for giving me the little nudge to have a look, see what's right across the road there. That's fun. That's fun. That's so fun. Fun. And then there's Freemason ties and other stuff too. Like, we'll just come out and say it. Who cares? I come from some stuff, and I know some stuff, and I always thought weird about certain stuff. And that's some of this stuff's the stuff that nobody talks about ever. You never hear about it, and so it's weird how do you even bring it up. Nobody knows about this one. Oh jeez. Oh geez, guys. Oh geez. That's the one you don't know. This one. Make note. Take note. Have a look-see about that. Have a look-see about that. And why a lot of really wealthy people lean towards this. And why it's a little more secretive and they're not so open about being everywhere like the Masons. And like they have little feasts and gatherings at people's mansions, and then there's just like a bunch of kids, and I still don't really even know what the fuck was going on with all that. There's a lot of parts of my childhood that I don't remember. On purpose, probably. My brain deleted large portions because of how incomprehensible and horrific some of the things I was dealing with. And maybe it's nothing to do with these people. I don't know. I don't actually really know. I know that there was a lot of weird things that seemed to match other weird things that through my research and due to there being Freemason stuff also. I just don't know. I don't know. That's just weird, though, that it happens to be this right here across. Yeah, and like they're the part of why a lot of things are fucked up, though. Like they forced my parents at a young age to get married. They weren't going to be just allowed to go and live together as young adults. They had to get married, and the whole thing was really like forced. And when my mom died, they really wanted to like enforce their weird stuff, chanting, ritual, whatever, and I was like, no. I'm supposed to bury my mother. You're not going to have a decision. You're supposed to already be dead by the time she dies, and that's not how it went. And we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Fuck you guys. So there's a little lore for you. Fun little lore of why I kind of have a little insider view on some of this stuff, and why I have certain feelings about certain things, and why yeah, we'll get more into the lore one day. I feel like it's all coming to a head also, because it's all kind of relative in a way. There's reasons I come into this and be doing this, and why I feel the way I feel, and why I fight the good fight the way I do. Yeah, it was all parties and stuff. It wasn't like going to a church and doing a thing. I mean, it was very ritualistic in certain ways, and it was always a party, a feast. It was a feast. You're gonna go have a feast, and it's like a big potluck, but with a lot of rich people at a mansion in this random fucking place. And I remember getting to a lot of these places, but I don't remember what happened or leaving. We'll just say that. And maybe it's just because it was so long ago, and because sometimes just parts of your childhood aren't clear because you were a kid, and you know, who knows, maybe I fell asleep, I don't know. But why though? I don't know. Like there's still a lot of weird stuff about some of that stuff that I'm still kind of trying to formulate and figure it out exactly what. Like a lot of weird stuff got confirmed by some relatives at certain points where they had remembered a memory of something that I'd always thought it was like a nightmare, but it kept coming up, and it was like a recurring memory thing coming up, and I always just thought it was just this weird nightmare thing, but they confirmed that was a real memory, so that kind of unlocked a good amount of stuff about certain stuff. And just there's some like levels of okay, I think, with some of the stuff that happened, and with just the way and they would separate siblings. There's different nights for girls and different nights for boys and different nights for different things. There's different thing for Christmas, Nowruz. They did a thing called Nowruz for Christmas. That's not Christmas, that's not any of the usual stuff. Like it's all weird. It's all weird stuff, and that's just something I haven't dug right into yet. For a reason. But I know the feeling of something was wrong a lot of the time in my childhood, so I just know I just know that this was my purpose, and there's a reason, I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling now, guys, but that's just really weird that's happens to be one of their little buildings across the road. And usually though, I don't know, it's different how they do it in Canada, I think, than other places, but they are everywhere also, but it's not as in your face as the Freemason stuff. But I was brought to a lodge at one point too, and I think I was supposed to be getting initiated or whatever, but I just remember thinking this is I don't want to be part of your boys club. I don't like this. This is weird. I don't want to. So I think it's all part of it in such a way that different religions, there's an experiment maybe too, in a way to lead you into different pipelines for different purposes and different things. I don't know. I don't know. That's just a smack in the face, almost like it just kind of hit me. I was not expecting that to be across the road, and it just figures how many things are coming full circle. So it's interesting. And the GATE program, yes, we had that. And the weird thing also, a lot of the schools I was going to as a kid and like through certain formative years, because I moved around a lot, so I went to a lot of different schools. I can't really say any one school that I went to. Like, people ask, well, where did you go to high school? It's like, well, I didn't really go anywhere. Like, went places, but I didn't really go there. Like, I couldn't say I was there long enough to even, become settled. But a lot of schools are now torn down. They don't exist anymore. They tore them down very shortly after. Like, a lot of schools, it was like the last year that I was at that school, it was torn down. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like, even some of the high schools and stuff, it's like they got torn down very shortly after. And not that it's necessarily anything specifically to do with me, but if there were weird programs, and the GATE program thing that I remembered at the one school that got torn down, like when I was really, really young, that school was freaking weird, because one of my earliest memories was coming out of the classroom. I'm like second grade, and a kid had fallen down the freaking stairs, like these concrete stairs, and was like dead at the bottom of these stairs. And it was a whole freaking thing, but we're like little kids, so they like moved us down in a way to another part of the school or whatever, and then it was just like, I don't know, I don't really remember. I don't really remember exactly what the fuck was going on with that, but that was fucking weird. And, like, nobody ever talked about it after, so it's like, what was really going on there? Was he just trying to come down the railing on the butt and, like, wiped out? Or, like, were they trying to get away from something? Like, I don't freaking know. But there was a lot of weird stuff, and the GATE program thing in Canada, that, I have memories of some of that stuff, and that was at the same school, and they would take you to the weird room with a few kids, and you didn't really know what was going on, but they told you were gifted. You were gifted, and they want to figure out how gifted you are or whatever. And those are schools that ended up being torn down later. Not right away, but yeah, and tunnels and shit. There was one school they were going to tear down, and it was closed, and okay, don't do this. You shouldn't urban explore. I'm not suggesting it or condoning it, but I thought it'd be fun to go urban explore while this school was closed down, but before they tore it down. And there was like the basement area there. Like, we went in all the places you weren't allowed while you were going to the school, and there was a weird basement with a boiler room and whatever, and we only went so far because then it got freaky, and we were like, oh, I don't know, all we got is our phone with a flashlight, and like, we're already not supposed to be in here. Maybe it's time to go. It just got spooky. Like, you got to a certain point and you get the chill, you just like a cool chill passes over you, and you're like, ugh. Like, when you're a kid and it's like a ghost chasing you up the stairs or down the stairs or whatever, you got that whoosh feeling, like you gotta run. Or you gotta run and jump on your bed because the monster's under your bed or whatever. It's kind of like that. We got like a spook down there, and we got out of there. But there was like all this underground stuff and like secret passages getting up and above the stage and stuff that you just didn't even know was there when you were going to the school, and it just was weird too. Just little weird things, man, over the years that the more that I am understanding about the and all the other stuff, and history and stuff, just all the stuff. That's one thing I don't remember. I do remember like an orange liquid though, but I also know that we got people, like, they would be like, what was it, like McDonald's would sponsor sport events and they'd send over their orange goo that they could mix with the whatever to make the orange juice and stuff. So I don't really know. Like, I don't remember the pink. I remember the headphones though. Like, there's certain different things I remember about it, and the weird voice, and like some of the stuff they were telling you, like, to prepare you for whatever the testing they were doing, like making you feel like you were so special, you're gifted, and we want to, figure it out. So, but I don't remember the pink drink. So this is it too, is where I think maybe in some areas it was different, like different stuff being tested and used to try to get the best, most accurate whatever out of kids, like whatever it was they're trying to test their prowess for, like whether it was premonition or whatever stuff, but I don't remember the pink drink, and yeah, don't eat that ever. But I remember like they had and I'm wondering though maybe if it's something similar, because they had like, it was like you got to drink the juice, and it's like, as far as you knew, it was, I don't know, maybe it wasn't even McDonald's, man, because some stuff it's like I don't really remember. I can't really fully remember, but it was like what it was said that it was to us might also not have been it. Like, oh, it's like McDonald's orange juice, just drink it. But who's to say that that's what that was, and why did they have to mix it in with the other thing, which I know, like with fountain drinks, fountain soda and stuff, you got to mix it. And like, yeah, you got to add water if it's just like a syrup juice, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. You remember everything. Yeah, see, and I've met some people that went through some pretty horrifying stuff that do remember everything. So that's where I'm like, I I don't know if it was that it was an altered state situation or under, like, here, drink the cough medicine. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why parts are less vivid. And then other memories are so burnt in my mind that I remember every second of it, that it had to be true. And it, like, and then I wasn't sure, though. Like, maybe I'm just weird and that's a nightmare. But then that being confirmed. So then it's like, I don't know. A lot of other things started clicking, but there's still uncertainty. And, like, how much do you really remember before you're 2, 3, 4 years old also anyways, you know? So there's that. But the colors do sometimes vary. And yeah, oh, really, there's so many weird things coming out about that whole company anyways, and where they're sourcing their meats, and oh yeah, that's a whole freaking other thing for another day. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I had heard about the pink drink thing, but I didn't really remember, but I do remember the weird drink that they were like, oh, it's just like McDonald's orange juice, like, just drink it. And yeah, that school got torn down, like, very shortly after. There was another school, it was like the last year it was open, and then they shut it down for however long, and then it got reopened to something else, like they repurposed it. Other ones just got totally shut down. But a lot of them really old buildings, too, that had, like, you know, maybe they needed to get torn down. I don't know. I don't want to be, like, totally conspiracy theorist about it, but I have noticed and thought about some of this weird stuff and how it may connect when you do start considering the GATE program, when you do start considering all the weird experimental stuff that's been going on over the years, and some of these weird people and groups and, like, I don't know. I don't really know. I can't say anything for sure about some of these things, but I know that we're all trying to figure it out. Some of us that just, yeah, have large gaps of memory, and, you know, like, there's a reason they didn't want you to remember too. Maybe there was something on purpose to not remember, you know? I don't know. Pizza and chocolate milk at like 11 a.m. Well, it's like lunchtime, isn't it? And the pizza and the milk, we used to have, yeah, the milk cart kids would go around and you could, like, order milk every week or whatever, and then the milk cart kid would come and bring you milk. That was normal, I think. I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, the fluoride, yeah, I don't, just drink natural spring water as much as you can, and look on the bottles, because some bottles that say natural spring water, they still put the fluoride in it, so double check that shit. But yeah, for the amount of meat they go through, and, yeah, that whole thing's really messy. Have me inside blood of kings. Why do you think we invented sausage for breakfast and hamburger for lunch? I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, why pork for breakfast and beef for lunch? But yeah, so I don't know. That's freaking interesting, though. And that's actually, like, a really fancy building. Some of them are less, least suspecting. Like, some of them, too, they just rent space in, like a rec hall. Like, it's not even that they have a building, necessarily. So this is actually, like, kind of news to me. They never really had marked buildings like this. Like, it was, like, a random place, or a random mansion, or a random rec center they rented out for a big function. A big to-do. And, like, I do have military ties in my family. The older, especially ones, were very, like, involved in a lot of the stuff in Canada later. Like, my great-grandma was women's auxiliary. My great-grandpa, like, had no legs. Eventually ended up, his legs rotted off. He had gangrene, and he'd still sit outside the grocery store doing the Remembrance Day thing and handing out poppies. Like, they were kind of those kind of folks, right? So I don't know. Who knows how much more involvement there were down the line of, potential there. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, there's still, like, there's stuff that I would have probably never brought it up anytime soon if they didn't have this place right across the friggin' road, because I'm just still not 100% certain myself. And just some stuff I've chosen just to not really think about as much right away, like, and then I'm kind of leaving it on the back burner for a reason. So it's just interesting that it's reared its ugly head right in the middle of this investigation with this right across the street. I don't know. That seems a little creepy to me. That freaks me out even more. Just because I know how I feel about the situation. I might not have, like, all the memory of it or all the knowing for sure exactly what happened, but I feel like it was weird. If that makes sense. Yeah, well, that's it. They didn't know how else to dispose it, so they had to think of some purpose to resell it back to people or put it in something. They had to think of something to use it for, right? And that's like, I mean, if you want to talk about like the J.K. Rowling Voldemort analogy kind of thing, like I feel like she was trying to tell us shit with that, with how he broke himself off into 7 pieces, and it's all the same evil, but it's 7 different pieces, the Horcruxes or whatever. Well, maybe there's like 7 main entities that we should be thinking about, worrying about, like, you know, the major, you know, controlling families and companies and stuff. Maybe there's 7 main big things that we need to look closer at. And maybe it's to do with religion, maybe it's to do with military, maybe it's to do with certain, I don't know. Who knows exactly what she was trying to say with that, but I think the whole Voldemort, they who cannot be named, he who cannot be named, like, I think she was really saying something about that, because there are certain people and groups and stuff you can't talk about. You risk your friggin' life in some cases. Right? But it's all part of the same demons, you know? It's all part of the, like, keep you docile, keep you, you know, just smart enough to do your job and to not ask questions, but you know, you can read and write and do your job, but not smart enough to ask anything more about why you're doing the job. Why do I push the button every 10 minutes? What happens on the other side when I push that button every 10 minutes? Don't you dare ask. Don't you dare ask. You just keep pushing that button, and in 50 years you get a gold pen and a pat on the back, and you get to enjoy the last 10 years of your life like a good little farm animal. It's all part of it. They want you long enough to work your 50 years, but not to live long enough that you get to collect a good chunk of your pension and stuff. You know, like, you got to think how this all goes into the same tax, debt, slavery system. You know. Oh yeah, Holocro, good to see you. Yeah. Finally they shut it down. It was dead so long ago. They used to just do music videos all day, every day, and then it died. It died a long time ago. And I guess they finally gave up because people got sick of whatever dumb shit they started putting on after. But yeah, I saw that. Finally. 44 years of MTV. Well, we had like we had much music, though, up here. But it was same idea. And it wasn't as glamorous and cool as I thought. Like, you'd go on school trips to much music. Like, I guess like, growing up near the big city, though, like near Toronto and stuff, like that's where all that stuff is. It's like same as like your guys' New York or whatever. You guys have all your Broadway and bullshit down there. Like, we have the much music and stuff, and there'd be like, yeah, you'd go on the school trip and end up at much music and watching and going doing the little tour and whatever. So it wasn't that, like, I don't know. It's not as like glamorous as they make it out to be when you see it on TV, you know what I mean? When you see all the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm guessing MTV is very similar. It's just in another bigger place. I don't know, bigger conglomerate. Oh yeah, and I'm noticing a lot of stuff from like before the 80s. Like 90s, 80s, 70s, all this stuff just disappearing off the internet. Like as if it never existed. But then you can find, I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now. But like, oh yeah, like all of Johnny Carson's loaded up, but I can't find Leno. Can't find certain Leno episodes. Like, somewhere in between there, they started wiping stuff down that was there, you know, before and not now. And then, you know, so this is part of the thing. That's why I keep putting the mic off, because, like, I've started keeping my own archives. Like, I was already keeping them over the years, saving stuff, but then the last however many years, like 5-6 years, I really started keeping archives, digital archives, saving articles, saving anything, all the media, everything, in case it might not be there anymore. And I have amassed quite a large archive of old clips and interviews and old word shows and just all this stuff that I thought might have pop culture or any kind of significance towards a project or towards something one day. And so I've been keeping that archive, and I'm so freaking glad I did, because the amount of stuff that now to go back to look at for certain things, that's not there anymore. Like, I have a whole big archive of just Marilyn Monroe stuff and interviews and stuff that now half of it, more than half of it, if you go back to try and find it, it's nowhere. It's not on the archive, not on YouTube. So thank the freaking goodness that I've been hanging on to that, and then I finally had upgraded to one bigger drive that I could start putting everything together and start organizing and making big folders for some of the bigger gargantuan cases, you know, like the Jacksons, even beyond just Michael Jackson. The whole Jackson situation is messed up, you know, the Marilyn Monroe, like even the John Bonet stuff. I'd saved up enough stuff from that before really sinking into doing the project. So there's a lot of projects I've just been prepping over the years and hanging on to stuff on purpose. I'm glad that I did. So many times I thought about just deleting stuff because I'd be running out of space, and then I'd go out, buy another thing and load the stupid shit over there, and then it's like, okay, we got got a whole thing of Aaron Carter, we got a whole thing of Britney Spears, we got a whole thing of Amanda Bynes, you know, and then even going back, a whole thing of Monroe, a whole thing on Shirley Temple, and then physical media too. Like I've got, you know, books and magazines and stuff, because they can edit stuff digitally too, right? So even trying to hang on to all that stuff and moving around over the years and whatever, it's like such a fucking pain, but it's all coming into play now. It all makes sense now. Where maybe not the whole time. A lot of people thought I was crazy sometimes for some of the stuff I would do and save and hang on to and think about or talk about or whatever. But here we are. It's not actually fetal cells, but cells grown within kidneys from fetuses. What? That's like, oh, well, it's not actually baby pecker on my face. It's the stem cells from the baby pecker on my face. Like, what was it? Sandra Bullock on Oprah talking about her face care regimen. And it was the stem cells from Korean circumcisions. Or something weird like that. I don't know, don't quote me on that. You'd have to double check that one yourself. But it was something weird like that. I think it was on Oprah. Sandra Bullock on Oprah. Yeah, like it's its own archive. It's become its own. Even all the tequila stuff. None of that. A lot of that didn't exist anymore. That I just had saved this folder of tequila downloads from her fucking channels when they were starting to shut her down all the time. I was like, I better save that. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. It was like 5 years ago. Downloaded it all, and sure as shit, it started coming into play. The Freddie Murphy stuff, the Drew Barrymore stuff, all this stuff. All this stuff. Like, I'm just sitting on so much freaking stuff for projects that I would like to also do that it's just like, where to even begin? Because there's the beginning, there's the middle, and then there's new things happening all the time, right? So, like, trying to catch up projects, but then stay on top of certain things, like when this Reiner thing happened, or like this situation, right? Yeah, it's friggin' weird. It's friggin' weird. And like, can we talk about how they have rituals where they'll suckle the fluids from the fresh snippings? That's still normal. Like, why do you think they had to start immunizing children for STDs? Why is that? How would they do that? How would they get STDs? Is it because you're putting your mouth on an open wound of a baby on their part that you just snipped? That's weird. That's weird that you have rituals that are two really gross bad things, seemingly what should be for like pretty freaking outdated and antique, at least maybe 100,000 years ago or whatever. 2,000 years ago people were doing weird shit like that, but in this day and age, probably. And then they happen to be the same people that you find all these tunnels underneath their frigging religious places. Like, I don't know, man. Fuck. It's just, it's freaking weird. It's a weird, weird world. Was it on Ellen? Oh, maybe it was Ellen. I thought it was Oprah. It was definitely Sandra Bullock, though, right? Yeah, I don't know if I can say the word, but the P3DO vor. Like, instead of a carnivore, you have P3DO vor people. Like that one guy that was saying about the one guy in the JonBenet case, and he's talking about he wants the other kind of taco meat or whatever, and the guy's looking at pictures he sent him of like kids on a roast thing. Oh, it was so fucked up. It was like a drawing. It was like a really crude, whatever, goofy little drawing, but the guy was basically saying he likes kids and he thinks about consuming them. That exists. And then we got people that are like the leaders of a religious group that are suckling the fluids from a fresh snipped thing from a baby. So that's like, they say they're not doing it and they're not really supposed to do it, but it does happen. Outbreaks have been happening. If you look up in New York, outbreaks of baby herpes. How are they doing it? Where are they getting it? Why is that okay? Why is that still happening? I don't know. I don't know why, but I can tell you about it, and you can decide what to think about it, or what we should do about it, because I don't know. I know a lot of information, but I don't know what to do with all of it sometimes. Have the whole archive, but I don't know what I'm doing with half of it all the time, because holy crap. Yeah, deuces to you, YouTubeville. Happy Espresso 2026, the year of Espresso. Last year was the Great Awakening. This year is the great Wide Awakening. The Espresso Awakening. Yeah. Yep. But anyways, now you guys got a whole chunk of my lore. If anyone ever makes it all the way to the end of these live streams, I guess they'll get to get some little tidbits. But a lot of people I don't think even bother as much with the lives if they're not live. Some people do, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just getting back into doing the lives again, though. I kind of lost, got off the groove of it. And it's always hard to get back on the horse when you come off of it. So now I'm doing lives again, and I guess, I don't know. It's cool if people do and they're getting something out of it. Obviously, I always hoping people are leering something by the end. But yeah, I don't think I expected it to go into my own personal lore. But there you go. The big fucking one of the big reveals. Spoiler alert. Yeah. I'm just kind of floored still that even came up in this little separate investigation here. Very interesting. So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth. That's the worst part of it too, though, is because it is very beautifully written, like very poetic. It's very more like higher end literature versus like a regular prayer book. And I think I have one somewhere, like from my mom's funeral, and like they wanted it to be sort of incorporated. So I at least like they have certain prayers for when you're dead and stuff like that, right? Like to cross over, and it's all very poetic. It is beautiful. It is really written beautifully. But that's, I think, where they catch you. They sneak in their bullshit. And it's all very like self-empowering. Like the end of the prayers is always like, you are almighty, you are powerful, you are like, it's all very like affirmations. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I gotta dig it out. I know I have one somewhere, and they're very nicely done. Like the way that they do their books, like everything's very well thought out, and they put a lot of thought into it. At least, like, I'll give them that. But also, like the word evil is like part of their. I'll see if I can find it. They say that you're supposed to read it backwards. Hold on. That you're supposed to read it backwards, and it's supposed to mean live, but it's literally the word evil. And that's like they put that above their doors. And it's like on a mirror with gold, so it's like the reflection of the duality of whatever the fuck. Like it's weird. I'm like looking back on all these weird things. Like, wow, maybe I was in a cult. I don't know. You can't even find it. You live by high symbolism. I don't even know how to find it. I don't even know what it's called. Hold on. I did find it before though. So I was talking about this when the whole Jason Baldoni thing was going on. A friend of mine was covering that, and the Baha'i thing came up in that. So hold on. Let me try to find this. Because ringstone symbol on the sign of the Bob. So that's another one of their people that. Oh, here it is. Here, okay. This is like the symbol. This is basically the symbol, but it's on glass with gold writing, and they put it above the door. And it's really freaking weird. And I don't know. Oh, that's not it. Verification required. Okay, hold on. I just want to be careful that I'm not like revealing personal information here. If it wants me to log into something or any of that. I'm just trying to be careful here. Behind symbols. Here we go. They wanted me to verify I was human. Unlock. I don't want to unlock. Where did the symbol go? You were just showing me the friggin' symbol. I'm just trying to look at the damn symbol. Okay, hold on. That didn't work. 1 second. But it literally is just like the word evil. It's the word evil in English, but in their religious whatever. I don't even know what it is. I don't actually know what the language is supposed to be. Yeah, like newly. And that's the first time I'd ever even heard it come up in pop culture. Like, openly. Like, that's where I was first like, oh, that's friggin' weird. Like, people never talk about it. They don't talk about it. Here it is. Okay, it's a small version. I was going to try to find the big version. Oh, here. There's another even better version of it. But it's literally the word evil. And these are, I guess, different, like, little nice mosaics of it. Here, that's not a bad version to see. Nope, that's not going to do it. But usually, it's the symbol of the greatest name. Powerful symbol, in case you didn't know already, is to follow the teaching of Baha'u'llah, prophet, founder, blah, 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 blah. Name is a sacred term used to the Baha'i greeting. See, I don't even know any of this. They didn't teach you this. They're just like, you're just part of this. I don't know. Like, they didn't really tell you what the fuck you were even part of as a kid. Like, I don't remember anyway, but it was on glass. Like, I remember this at my one grandma's. It was on glass, like a mirror, and then the lettering in gold, and it's like above. Some of them it's black too. I've seen it other places where it was black, but it was like in gold above doorways is where they would have it. And so when you would look in a mirror too, and you look backwards, it says live, but it's evil. That's the word evil. Is that not the word evil? This is evil. This is the word evil, if you look at it in English. And I don't know what this language even is, actually. Like, I don't know if it's its own language, or if it's, like, Hebrew, or Arabic, or... It won't narrow you down. Yeah, at least. Yeah, because there's like all kinds of them. They're like Persians, and we like stood out because I'm like white adjacent. So like I was the only white kid at this fucking thing with all these weird Persian rich kids, and I'm like a poor kid too, which was weird. Like I don't even know. It was fucking. Oh, it's so weird when you think about it, and it's like I was like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But it was weird because there was like all these really rich Persian people, and I don't know. I just don't know. I don't really exactly know still, and I'm kind of just. I wasn't ready to really look into it yet, but it looks like the universe decided that's what we were doing today. So that's cool. That's fun. That's super fun. Oh, there's another good example right there with the gold inlay. Like, it's kind of fancy. They put a lot of effort, and they have fancy buildings. They do have like a religious place that people go, like with religious type buildings, like kind of like where you would go to like the Holy Land or whatever. The Lotus Temple. Like, I don't even know about any of this. We didn't learn about it. We just went and they would listen to their fucking prayers and shit and eat the food and not remember anything after a certain point and how getting home. But you know, you might fall asleep. You're a kid, you run around, you fall asleep. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to say anything for sure because I can't say anything for sure in this moment. But I do know it was weird. And they have all their own little weird symbolism and jewelry. This, I remember this. I remember seeing this a lot. I think it's like a man ring. I don't really know. But all the different weird little stuff, same as like Masons have. But it's like more of a worldwide versus like Masons are more the US thing, or in Canada, like the American side of it. But this is like, I don't really know. It's a different layer. It's another layer, and I don't know. I feel like I've already said too much, and I might have to move again. Because, I mean, there's a reason I also, like, I'm not in contact with family. I don't, like, I would like to keep my privacy for a reason. Like, I just don't know what I'm even up against with some of this stuff, you know? I don't know what half of this means, or what I was a part of, or what it all... But I know it's the one that nobody talks about at all, and it seems like a Voldemort situation to me, if nobody ever is talking about it. Like, never ever, you never hear about it, but there's people, part of it, all over the place, doing their little feasts, doing their little Nowruz parties, doing their little fancy mansion parties. It's all the same fucking kind of thing. It all falls in line with a lot of the weird stuff in such a way enough that it's just, you know, I don't know. And I know some of the traumas and things that were passed down through my family and what was kind of normalized and how depraved and deviated some people in my family are that have been protected, and I don't know. There's just, yeah, it's its whole own thing. It's its whole own thing, and it's supposed to be like a one religion. It's like a one world order, new world order type thing. I don't know, some of it's kind of coming back to me as I'm going through it, but I just, it's so freaking long ago. Like, I was just a kid. I was just a little kid. I guess that's when the John Bonet thing kind of stands out for me, you know, too, because something weird is going on there, and the feeling of the weird, it's similar to the weird. In the Baha'i writings, it said that the greatest name should be found upon the lips in the first awakening moment of early dawn. It should be fed upon by constant use and daily invocation, in trouble, under opposition, and should be the last word breathed when the head rests upon the pillow at night. It is the name of comfort, protection, happiness, illumination, love, and unity. The greatest name is also referred to as the battle cry. Baha'i, who take on the special privilege to share... What? That's what that's supposed to fucking mean? That's gross. I don't know. That is weird. That is all weird. Because it's evil. You, like, the greatest name spells evil in English. Like, tell me what that fucking... I don't know. I don't like it. I want to get out of here now. I want to go home now. I don't like it. Yeah, it just... like, I know something weird was going on because I feel gross. I feel gross even... like, I gotta shake off the energy. I don't like it. Nope. No thank you. Return to sender. Unsubscribe. I don't want to. I unsubscribe from that. Whew. Anyways. Yeah, it is. It's very in plain sight. It's same idea as like Freemasons, but you don't hear about it. Nobody talks about it. It's the one that you never ever hear anything about, and that's what also makes it more questionable and more freaky. And it's not like a public. It's like I don't know how to explain it, but it is totally freaking weird how it's the one thing that it's supposed to be this one world religion, and it's so like embracing this and that and the other thing. Oops, that's not what I want. I'm trying to shut this thing off here. It's like its own friggin' thing, and nobody talks about it. I don't hear anybody talk about it. I've heard it came up on the Baldoni thing, and like they got a little weird. That whole thing got a little weird. I didn't read into it enough to know enough to say much, but I know that came up during that, and I was like, oh, I know about that. There's something weird there. Yeah, I do not consent to this negative energy that feels like it's kind of... Maybe it's just a feeling of doom or fear of like, oh, I shouldn't be talking about this. I don't think I should be talking about this. I'm a little freaked out maybe a little bit that I just said so much. Maybe I shouldn't have said so much. But whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm done. I'm done being so freaking scared to try to figure out what even happened, you know? Like, I think I know enough and how bad it could be, so what's there to fear anymore? Like, it's just, you know? And maybe I don't need the confirmation even to know that there's weird shit going on in the world to kids, and I don't think it's okay. You're still having... Yeah! Doesn't it, like, oh... Just looking at that, like, it makes me feel gross. I feel gross. Like, some of the stuff it's taking me back to, like, there's just an uneasy feeling associated. So whatever that means, whether I can confirm 100% or not. No, and I feel that. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you kind of just, in real time, working through some trauma. But what more, what else can we do at this point? What does it hurt to share and be discussing these things? And even if it does feel... like I'm breaking the rules by even talking about it, and that's weird. Like, that alone is kind of weird. And to feel scared, like, I felt like a little kid for a second. Like, a fear was coming all over me, that it's like you can't even, there's no words, but you have the fear because something weird, there's something weird, and I don't know, maybe it's not necessarily to do with that, but there were just weird things happening at the same time around that time, and it has nothing to do with them. I don't know, I just know enough that I know I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not really into sports, but let's talk about it. Is there something? What's the sports right now? I think hockey. They're doing hockey. We're supposed to be into hockey because I'm Canadian, but I don't pay attention to that either. Sports seems just like a distraction usually, but in this moment, a distraction is welcome. Who's winning? Which teams are winning? Who's your favorite? Which sports do you like? Oh, yeah, see, you guys are feeling it. You're feeling the oozy woozies, eh? You guys got the shine. You get it. Why football in February? Yeah, it's not football. It's not... I don't know what else goes on. I think, it's hockey season, isn't it? Or... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what sports are happening right now. You went to... Yeah, it's all the same, though, kind of, right? It's, like, the same kind of, like, keep it secret. Keep it sacred. It's secret. You can't tell them. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell them what you're doing on the weekends when you go back to school to your normal life, when you're doing a whole weird thing every time on the weekend. You don't even know what the fuck is happening. Maybe next time we could talk about a weird trip my grandparents took me on one time, that my grandpa was driving truck, and it was over the summer, and we ended up doing, I went with them on their little cruise, but basically there wasn't enough seats. I wasn't supposed to be in the truck, and they basically smuggled me over the border. This is pre 9/11. Basically smuggled me over and took me on this whole journey with them, and I can't remember much of anything from that. And what was the sleeping arrangement, because it was in the truck, and what was going on, I don't know. Some things are just like, what the fuck was even that? what was going on there? Why does that feel weird? Why is there something weird going on with that you don't really remember? And why was I brought over in the first place? Like, I don't know. That seems like a old couple wants to go do their little trucking thing together. That makes sense. But why was I there? And we drove through Gary, Indiana. So speaking of which, it's funny. I was like, I think the Gary place, something's weird there. Or what is it? Gary, is it Indiana or I don't know. Gary. There was a place that we drove past Gary, and I was like, it stood out to me when I was hearing about something weird going on there now. Because I was like, oh, I've been there. But I don't really remember it, because it was also like you just stop off at places. You're not really stopping for long when it's a truck driver situation. But then I was brought into a lot of weird spots too of that. That was just weird. The whole thing was weird, and maybe it wasn't though. Also, maybe I just don't remember because I was young. I don't fucking know, but I know I wasn't supposed to be there. and it didn't make sense. I should have just stayed with little Joey. Just leave me at home with little Joey next time, please. Fuck. But that's weird that different siblings were brought to different things for different circumstances on different occasions. That's weird too, right? Like, why are we splitting them up? Why is that? What's happening there? I don't know. Yeah, I do the journaling. I do, you know, different stuff. And, oh yeah, like, I've gone through the whole friggin' rigmarole of spiritual health and wellness, mental health and wellness, all of the most natural, best things that you can do that keeps you on the level without having to be dependent on anything so much. You know, I do a little herbal. I'm a little bit herbal in a way. Herbalism. But, yeah. Hey, Finisher, you made it. What's up? Happy New Year. Oh, go figure. Shit, I'm sorry. That happens, though, and that's why I try to, like, that's why I get people over to the Telegram and stuff, because I'll post in there when I'm gonna go live and shit, because sometimes it's just notifications don't even go off. Even if you do it well enough in advance. Like, usually if you give it, like, an hour in advance, it's gonna shoot that notification off when it's, like, a half hour ahead, but sometimes they don't even go. They don't even pop off, so that's why we do the Telegram and stuff. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it, even if it's at the end here. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad we could work through that. That was kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. Like, that caught me completely off guard. Also, like, that was across the street there. Like, and what are the odds with, like, a completely different investigation that has nothing to do with that to turn around on the street? And I just kind of was like, I wonder what that, because I was thinking about it, like, well, that was a kind of a weird building across the street. Like, why don't we have a look, actually, since we're still just sitting here, of this one? Because this is the most normal seeming one, right? And, like, I don't know what in my gut told me or what compelled me to be like, you know what, let's just turn around and see what this is. And then I'm like, like, I don't know, it took my breath away a little bit. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm looking at now. I turned it off already, sorry. But the little, you know, this whole, I don't know what compelled me to even turn to look at this building, but that was interesting. If that's not a shiny moment, I don't know what is. Interesting. But yeah, I was definitely not expecting that, so it kind of opened up a little bit of a can of worms there. With the lore. But, hey, whatever. It's the Great Awakening. Things are happening, and if we don't figure it out and start discussing it with people, maybe we'll never know. You know, maybe there's other people out there. Other Baha'i victims. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a victim. I don't know. I can't say anything for sure. Like I said, I don't really know. It just all seemed very weird. And when they talk about the Diddy parties and the Epstein parties and all these weird parties with rich people at mansions, and then you got kids there. I went to a lot of those as a kid, and I do have complex trauma and am missing big parts of my childhood because of probably, like, dissociation or something, you know? Got the dissociative fugue because of the complexity of it all. But yeah, maybe it's just time. Maybe it's time to remember. Maybe it's okay. Maybe we don't have to be scared. Why are we scared? What's to be scared of? You know? And maybe I should be a little scared, because sometimes you do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing and people are in a little bit of danger. But you know what? Maybe I'll just move. We'll just keep moving around. I don't know. We'll do the nomad thing. Just keep staying as far the fuck away from blood, people, family, and all of the other shit. I don't know. I'm not sure that he does. Honestly, comment mama. I have a little bit more faith, like, in Dumbledore and Harry Potter right now. But that's okay. I accept it. I appreciate the thoughtfulness and the, yeah. The intentions, the good heart and the good intentions behind it. But I don't know. The more I'm starting to look at and think about things, the less I'm wondering if, you know, I don't know what kind of anything that's going on in the world that lets so much evil happen. I'm just waiting for somebody to come save us, man. I don't know. That Nick Shirley thing, honestly, that Nick Shirley guy is the closest thing to Jesus I think we're ever going to have. And watching him get crucified in the media, I almost believe. I'm actually the closest to ever believing in the idea of Jesus coming back just by seeing how that kid's being crucified in the media. He's a 24-year-old virgin, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party, doesn't fuck around, doesn't do nothing. He has a good heart and good intentions and is trying to just expose fraud and corruption in childcare everywhere, and the media is fucking tearing the guy limb from limb. that's not as close to being Jesus in this fucking century. I don't know what is. And it's disgusting. People been waiting for fucking how many years for him to come back and save us? And the first closest thing we got, people are shitting on him. Like, friggin' Christ. Because, you know, in the story with Harry Potter, when Dumbledore is away on business and Voldemort is storming the castle, Harry Potter and all his little friends, they all get together and they join together to protect the school and the kids and everything that's going on there. They don't sit around waiting for Dumbledore to come back and save them. The time to act is now. We all have the power within us. We have good force. There's forces of good and forces of evil, and if the forces of good can unite against the evil, whether somebody comes back and tells us to or not, whether they come and join us or not, we can just do it. We can just do it. Why don't we just do it? Dumbledore is not coming back. I don't think he's gonna make it. We got Hagrid. Hagrid is probably gonna help. Maybe. I believe that. I feel like, yeah, like there's that awakening too. Like there's an activation and an awakening for a lot of people. Like the missing memories or the missing pieces are kind of coming together, or they're like, yeah, they're starting to dream really vividly about certain things, and it's unlocking certain other things, or I don't know, something weird's happening. But I think it's a good thing. I think all those spiritual people that kept saying that something about awakenings and everybody's gonna activate and whatever they kept saying, I'm like, you know, maybe they know something. Maybe there's some truth to that. But the Earth School and like the Mystery School or whatever, there was that somewhere I gotta go check out, like probably in person now that I'm a little more on the other side of the civilization. Moved around, bopped around for a while, but we're getting more back and get over to the vicinity of that Mystery School, that mythical school, whatever the school is called that Miley Cyrus was suddenly joining. They have them all over too. And there was one nearby where I had grown up near some other places I've been. They're everywhere too. And the Scientology buildings, man, you don't realize how everywhere those are either. They've got those all over the place too. Maybe we go on a tour. Maybe we just go on a tour. Go check out some lodges in some weird fucking places. And just see what's going on. Yeah, like I'm definitely more leaning into like the universal spiritual type thing. Like I believe in the power of good. I have faith in the power of good. I have faith in the energy of the collective of the universe of goodness. Mother Nature, Father Time, whatever. Kind of just my own gobbledygook of my own belief, because I grew up in a religion that wasn't anywhere. Nobody had that religion, so that was already fucking weird. And then some places teaching certain religions and other places having this religion, that religion. So I already grew up very religiously confused. Because everyone's saying Jesus, but we pray to about Baha'u'llah. So the fuck is that? I don't know. Anybody even heard of that? No. Pretty much no. So I grew up very confused already and just kind of created my own religion, and that's what worked, you know? I have faith. I have spirituality, but I just don't trust any of them. I don't trust any organized religion, you know? Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, Finisher. Yeah, you came here at the end, and you missed out on a lot of it, but that's very profound. That's a good, profound, just for the overall closing of this topic, honestly. Like, you kind of just nailed it on the head there. Right on. Came at the right time for the right thing at the right place. Well, like, I think that nobody should be able to be forgiven for sins of the flesh. I don't think you should be able to bring harm and trespass against children your whole life and then go stick your dick in holy water and everything's fine. I don't believe in that. I don't believe there should be forgiveness for unforgivable crimes against children. Against especially heinous crimes are not forgivable. No forgiveness. You're not coming. You don't get to come. You're not invited. You don't get milk and cookies. You don't get juice, crackers. You're not coming to the meeting. Whatever. You're not invited. Fuck. I probably sound like a crazy person right now, but that's okay. I feel like when the more sober and the more clarity of mind and the more meditative and the more like woo-woo spiritual one with myself and like mind, body, soul alignment and clarity, the more insane I fucking sound. Like the more on drugs people think that I am sometimes. So it's kind of weird. Kind of a weird, like, you know, sometimes it's like I had to do things just to balance myself out, and then I sounded more normal then when I'd be drinking a little bit every day to just, you know, take the edge off, and that was normal. But then I'm like clean, clear, under control, and I sound like a whack job. Kind of funny too. Kind of funny too. But I mean, it's important, I think, that we all have our own certain relationship with some spiritual something, having some faith in the good, having faith in things. You know, fuck, you want to believe in rocks and grass and sunshine and rainbows and fucking trees, that's your religion. Don't care. Like, if you're going with a good heart, good intentions, doesn't really matter, you know? Yeah, so Santa Claus. We know that's all bullshit. Like, we've been lied to. We've been lied to. And I think we're allowed to choose what fantasy series fiction that we want to believe in. And I like Harry Potter a lot better. Voldemort never killed his followers and their family and their livestock to win a bet against the other Dark Lord. I don't know. There's not that many Dark Lords in Hogwarts, but even Voldemort didn't want to win in a bet against Satan and want to kill his people, and he's the bad guy. So if your good guy is worse than the bad guy in my fantasy book, fiction, Bible book, maybe I can believe in Dumbledore if I want to. Because my Dumbledore and Voldemort, they don't make bets and hurt people. Voldemort might be evil, he might do awful things, and he might hurt people. But Dumbledore's not over here being like, yeah, well, guess what? My followers believe in me more than they believe in you. So watch, I'm going to take my best follower, and I'm going to kill his livestock, I'm going to kill his family, and he's going to still have faith in me. And I'm going to win in a bet against Voldemort. Never one time did Dumbledore do that. Voldemort would not do that either. So I think I'd rather believe in Voldemort and Dumbledore. Much more. And then Harry Potter. Harry Potter done a lot more shit to save all the people than I feel like Jesus did. Jesus got crucified, but then took a 3-day nap, and apparently he was good, and then away he went. But, you know, I think Harry Potter was doing a lot more for the greater good ongoing through the whole thing. He was always trying to conquer the evil, you know? Nick Shirley, he's more Jesus than Jesus right now, I feel like. The way he's getting crucified, the way he's getting slaughtered in the friggin' media, the way people are talking shit about him, and he's just a kid. Like, he's an amateur kid journalist. But MSM, all these places, they're all embarrassed. They all look like an idiot right now for how they've allowed all this corruption to go on for all this time. And if they're not part of it, then, like, how do you let that go on? Obviously, you're part of it. I don't know. Like, that's more Jesus than any Jesus anything I've heard or seen in my entire fucking life. Like, that I can believe in. That's a Harry Potter, though. That's a Harry Potter, though. He's just going in there and poking people in the eye and causing some ruckus. And not everybody, you know, Harry Potter rubbed some people the wrong way. But at the end, he was going with a good heart and good intentions and used his trauma to help conquer the evil and prevent trauma to others. I like that. I like that a little better, you know? I like that better than any other book. I read all the books, too. Like, I've looked into Taoism, Buddhism, pretty much the whole buffet. I've read into the whole buffet to be like, okay, well, nobody even knows the religion I grew up on. That's weird. I don't understand. It's weird. We're just going to put that in a lockbox in the back of our mind, not think about it. What other religions we got? Well, I don't like all the contradictions in the other religions that everybody practices. I don't understand why a sloth would travel 3,000 miles across an ocean to escape a flood. That doesn't make sense to me. Why did the people that weren't born have belly buttons? How come Adam and Eve have belly buttons? That doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of stuff in Harry Potter just makes sense to me. You know? So that's kind of where I stand on if we want to have stories to go with our spiritualism, I guess, you know? We could pick our own. Why can't we pick our own? Right? And then, like, how many times has that been edited? The Bible's been edited so many times over the years by the people in power to suit the people in power. The King James edition. Okay, cool. Yeah, because religion and military and power, evil powers that be should all be hand in hand, you know? Careful walking at your front door. This is COVID 1984. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it's better than having, more than one belly button. That'd be really weird too. But you know, there's just all those contradictions that never made sense to me. So I'm like, well, I don't like that one either. So I started reading different ones, you know? And of all of the texts, the spiritual and religious texts, I still like Harry Potter best. So, I don't know. You can take that as you will. See, I don't know how to feel about that, Divine Spark, because I saw somebody on TikTok that they were talking about some of their childhood stuff, and that one of the programming things their parent had always done to them was to push on their forehead, like, you're gonna forget. If I push on your forehead, you forget. If I push your belly button, you remember. Something weird like that. It was like some weird programming discipline fucking thing. That's what that reminds me of right now. That's a little freaky, but I get what you're saying. We can have a reset button. Like, I hear what you're saying, and that is valid. But that kind of reminds me of that weird fucking programming thing this person was talking about they went through in childhood. But yeah, I don't know. Take that as you will. You don't have to believe in Harry Potter or Dumbledore or Jesus or anything. You don't have to believe anything. You can believe whatever you want. Just go with a good heart and good intentions. I think that's pretty straight up, you know? Fear, anger, and rage are, yeah, like, is it on the spectrum of good or evil? Like, or do you have good karma or bad karma? Like, I feel like this stuff can be measured realistically and logistically. I just, I don't know. And then there's the 9 quadrants. Like, Dungeons and Dragons almost makes more sense than the Bible. So you talk about the 9 quadrants of good and evil, like you have chaotic good, chaotic evil, neutral good, neutral evil, opportunistic good, opportunistic evil, like different degrees on the spectrum of good and evil. Right? That makes sense. But that's for a game. It's supposed to be a fantasy game, like a D&D, like you're fucking around. I don't know. You believe in Elvis Presley. I believe in dog. You guys believe whatever you want, man. As long as you're not bringing harm to kids, you do what you want. You do whatever you want. Good heart, good intentions. That's it. That's all you gotta do. No problems. I believe in Elvis Presley. I love the humor. I love the sense of humor that is shared, I think, among the group, just enough darkness, but still so, like, on the light, silly, like the light and silly side. Just enough of a pinch of the dark, but yeah, it's so funny. That's funny. Like that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I definitely, I did a lot of studying. Because as soon as I got to a conscious age of realizing that nobody even knew what my religion was, and I was in some weird cult thing, I wanted to know about all these other religions, and I read very thoroughly. I've always been very well read, and before I could get access to computers, I was always in the library reading. I moved a lot. I didn't fucking fit in anywhere. My best friends were books, the TV, computers, and I spent a lot of time in libraries. At every school, I would hang on the library, and, I got picked on a lot as a kid. I was always the new kid, and I was always a little weird, and my best friend was books. I probably read more books before I was 10 than most people read in their entire life, if we're being honest, because I wanted to understand everything. Everything was weird. I was living a horrific childhood. My only escape for a lot of the time was, like, reading books or going into some other world, writing little books, writing little poems, I'm very literary, I'm more into the literary learning and exploring of it all. Always have been. So I'm probably, I don't know. I don't think it's going to change my mind, I guess is all I'm going to say. I've been there, done that. I don't know. I don't know if I read that one specifically, but I know enough to know that I think I like the Harry Potter story better. And I'm allowed to believe in Harry Potter as much as people believe in Jesus, because there is no real proof one way or the other that neither couldn't have existed at any given time. I don't know. We know magic and things existed throughout history. We know certain things, urban legends and stuff could exist, and there's certain, evidence of certain things that they don't want us to talk about or know about, and who knows? Maybe unicorns did exist, but we killed them because we kept drinking their blood to live forever. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different religions. It's a lot of different religions in one, and that's why I like it, because it's like she's well-read on the different things that we're offered as humans, as far as religion and the understanding of magic and power, self-empowerment. Like, she's really trying to tell you the power is in you. We're all just as powerful as we believe that we are. That even this little baby could conquer the greatest evil known to the wizarding world because of the power of love and belief and faith. I don't know. It's just a beautiful fucking story. It's a beautiful fucking story, and it includes enough of the good things that I noticed in different religions. Like, there's some good parts of Buddhism and Taoism and some of these other religions that I think are a good thing. And I think that it encompasses a lot of the good things from religion without there being as much as the pillaging and murdering and other stuff that happens. Oh, the Baha'is. The Baha'is. And it wasn't even going to come up. I don't think I was ever going to even tell anybody that because it's such a fucking... I'm afraid. I've been so afraid to talk about it my whole life. But this investigation with this weird childcare centers happens to have one of these right across the road. And I was not expecting that because you don't really see them. They don't necessarily usually have their own buildings because a lot of the parties and gatherings happen in people's mansions and at like they'll rent out a rec center thing, like a place people would usually have weddings or whatever. They rent it to have a big gathering, a big feast. So yeah, I don't know. I don't, like, not many people have heard of this. So I was raised like that way. Both sides were that way. They were forced together basically because they weren't allowed to just be teenagers hanging out and living together or whatever. And I was born into just the weird forced weirdness on both sides. And it's even weirder because one side's white, one part's Latin, and then most of the people at these fucking Baha'i things are Persian. So I don't even know. I don't even know what fucking weird shit was going on there. Still don't really know. And I was never going to probably bring it up. Ever. But it sort of just came smack right down in the middle here that it came up. But yeah, that's always been like a confusion because then I got to start going to school and meeting other kids and people talk about what they believe in and you go to people's houses and you see the crosses and you see this other stuff. But I came from a place where we have the word evil above the door. And I've just been trying to figure out what the fuck that was all about because nobody talks about that. Nobody knows about them. Nobody talks about it. We know about Freemasons, and I've been brought to lodges, and there's some of that intermingling in the situation, too. Yeah, Rainn Wilson talked about it. Oh, wow. See, it's starting to come into the mainstream. The first I'd ever heard anybody speaking about it in the mainstream was Justin Baldoni, the Justin Baldoni situation. But if Rainn Wilson was talking about it too, I'm sure there are so many more celebrities because it is a very, like, this is where the rich people go. This is the rich people. The Freemasons are like the little bitch boys that service the other rich people doing their rich people fucking shit. And it's all very fancy, and their prayers are fucking beautiful. It's like literary art. I'm not going to lie. It's how they suck you in, and they tell you how amazing you are. Like every fucking prayer ends with like you are the Almighty and the powerful and blah blah. And it's kind of read like as if you're reading it to their God, but technically as you're reading it, it's the God saying it to you. Because the way that the poetry is written, the way that the prayers are written, it's like you're reading their prayer that they wrote, and they're reading it to you. Like you're reading what they said to you, and you're saying thou art the Almighty, the powerful, the blah blah blah, the splendid, like all these very like good literature, like well written, fancy fucking words. It's like next level shit. I'm gonna have to dig it out. I have one of the books somewhere, and I think I might know what box it is, but I don't know. I moved a couple times since, but I had it given to me while I was doing my mom's funeral because they wanted to try and put their Baha'i bullshit on me. But it's like you're already supposed to be dead before my mom dies. You're not even supposed to be here. Like, go away. I'm not supposed to be burying my mother right now. The whole thing was fucked. But anyway, so they give me... I have some of the fucking books. And when you read the shit... I actually probably can just look it up if I can't find it. And we can go through some. I actually could probably remember what my most favorite one as a kid. Fuck, no, I can't. I used to say it because I had a favorite one. Like, they would get you to come up and say a prayer, too, sometimes at some of these little meeting things. Feast, whatever fucking thing. What the fuck was it? I can't remember. I don't know. This whole part of my life I've like just tried to forget for a very long time and just don't think about because a lot of it I still don't really exactly understand what was going on. But when we read about all these Epstein things and the Diddy things and how there's these mansion parties with kids, well, I've been to a lot of mansion parties with kids that were called like a feast. And a lot of them I don't really remember. Like, I'd get there, and I'd be playing with the kids, and the next thing is, like, you've eaten, but then you just don't remember, and then you wake up in the car ride home, or you wake up at home, and you just, maybe you're just exhausted, and you had a big meal, so you fell asleep, and you're just a kid, and you don't remember, but I don't know. The more stuff I'm reading, and the more, like, that I'm aware of, the trauma that I did go through, and the horrifying things that did happen to me as a kid, the more I wonder about the things I don't remember. Yeah, we'll talk about it more. Like, I'll probably wrap this up here shortly, and I really had never had an intention to talk about it, but obviously there's a reason that I have a bit of an insider view of different sides of society and why I can understand some of the stuff that goes on with, like, the Reiner situation and how much darkness can happen among families that are really well-to-do or putting on the show of well-to-do, because some families it's more of just the image, right? But yeah, I grew up really weird, and it's weird because my mom's side was really poor, but then my dad's side was really, like, not super wealthy, but they were kind of to-do and had the influence and had community power in a way, And then maybe over time kind of became more well-to-do, and maybe because they were connected with some of these other people. I don't know. But then there's Freemasonry ties. Like, I got brought to a lodge a while back when I was becoming an adult, like, just kind of coming into the age, I guess. And I'd been coming into some money. I was doing really well for myself. And they were trying to get me into the little butt club. And I didn't want to. And then, you know, you get punished. A lot of weird things started happening until I got far, far away and, like, cut contact and nobody knew where I was for a while. Then you noticed how much they have an influence on your life, too, in that way. So not even am I just afraid of the fucking Baha'i shit. I'm afraid of all of it. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I know it doesn't feel right, and a lot of the stuff I study and talk about it, there's a reason, and I have, like, a gut instinct for certain things that keeps ending up true. So maybe the things that I feel and think about what happened when I was a kid are probably also true. But, you know, you can't just come out and say things either without being completely positive about certain stuff. Right? You were today years old? Exactly. How many? Hands up. Hands up if before today you had ever heard of the Baha'i faith. Anybody. Right? Like, nobody. Nobody ever talked about it. And that's why I'm almost more fearful than the Freemason thing, because people know about Freemasons. People know about all these different religions. They know about the fucking kiss the wall and the little hats and the this and that and all these other different religions. Never hear anyone talking about the cult I grew up in. Like, it's not even on the list of cults. You know, the cult people don't talk about it. The other religious people that dig apart religions don't talk about it. Never hear anybody fucking talk about it. But yeah, you said you heard Rainn Wilson talk about it, so I'm gonna look into that, because I never, like, literally up until just last year, when it came up in the Justin Baldoni thing, was the first time I'd ever heard it in pop culture. And I do a lot of reading and a lot of research all the time. This is my life. Like, I've always just done this just for fun. Reading stuff about everything. Like, I'm a fucking walking encyclopedia for no reason. I don't know. You can ask me dark stuff about Hollywood. You can ask me about history. You can ask me about all of these things. Random science. I'll tell you the phases of meiosis if you want. Interphase, metaphase, telophase, anaphase. I don't like science. Why do I know that? Why do I... The square root of the hypotenuse is equal to the sums of the squares of the two other sides. Why does that fucking matter? Why do I remember the Pythagorean theorem? That doesn't fucking matter. But I just always, I don't know, I've always really liked reading into things. And so, yeah, so once I realized that nobody had my religion, I had to understand other people's religions. And so I just had a different view, I guess, of, like, the outsider's view of all of the most common religions. Like, everybody knows about this. Everybody likes Jesus, but I go to a feast at a mansion and pray to the Baha'u'llah, and they have evil over their door, and all these kids are here, and we're all dressed up fucking fancy, like we're all little presents waiting to get unwrapped. Fuck, I'm getting freaked out. It was firing me up a little bit, because I just don't know. I don't know what the fuck was actually going on there, but the more I know about what's been going on, like with the Epstein shit and with the other shit, the more it just seems questionable, because the more you think about it, it's like, well, that's weird. How many kids were being brought on a regular to mansion parties with feasts that it wasn't, like, not a Diddy thing and it's not an Epstein thing, but it's its own thing around this Baha'i stuff. And then there is also the ties with the Freemason stuff, and there's just fucking weird shit. It's just a weird fucking thing. So I don't know. I don't think I ever intended to talk about it, but now we're talking about it because it happens that this other weird potentially child trafficking fraud thing happening in Minnesota, of all fucking places. Also, this right across the street. And I didn't expect it, and I just kind of was like, we'll just peek around, wonder what that fancy building across the street was. Let's see what that was. And I zoomed in, and literally, like, my heart fell out of my butt. The terror I felt for a second. And then I was like, do I say it? Do I even mention that I know what that is? Does anybody know what that is? I don't know. And it kind of freaked me out for a second, but fuck it. We're ripping the Band-Aid off. Here we are. Yeah. And it's it's all very well-to-do people. Very well-to-do. Like, these people that are running this thing across the street are the kind of people that go to these religious things. And it's all different people. Like, it's like Persians and white people and Mexicans and all kinds of different people. It's not any one tribe, that's why I also want to make sure people know. Like, I'm never really talking about any one specific tribe, because there's a lot of evil that exists that has nothing to do with anywhere your language, religion, blah, 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 blah. Like, I grew up in a very multicultural type cult that it didn't fucking matter. It was money. It was money. Feasts. Show off your mansion, show off your kids, show off your everything. Let's bring them all together and party together. And who cares if the kids don't remember a damn thing after? It's part of their fun, right? I don't know. Fuck. Yeah. Well, I don't have to. I wasn't really raised on that religion, and when I realized that was the religion everybody knew and not the one I was raised on, I read in depth about that and Buddhism and Taoism. And like I was just saying, I'm a very well-read individual, and I've read everything there is pretty much about every single religion, every single cult, and I still like Harry Potter better. And that's okay. I'm allowed. I'm allowed. There are religions that exist that are, like, you guys are like the front of the back end. Same as how, like, with Freemasons are like the front of a back end. The little old ladies cooking the muffins are the front of the back end of, you know, there's corruption at every level. And I don't want to. I don't need to believe in anything that has any association or usefulness for evil people to get away with evil things. If you can go and be forgiven for hurting children, you can harm and trespass children for your whole life, and you get a free ride. You just got to repent and dip it in holy water and everything's cool. No, not with me. I don't believe that's okay. I don't believe that carnal sins are forgivable. And I don't have to. I don't have to. And if you guys think that it's like somebody's going to get left out because they don't believe in your religion, let me tell you, the richest people in the world do not believe in your religion. And it's not Satanism. And it's not fucking the Freemasons you got to worry about. There's the secret. There's the big secret, guys. You guys are believing in Jesus. The people running the world believe in a whole other fucking thing that you don't even get to know about. You're not even allowed to know. How do you know? Do any of you know? To like one person knew what this was and they heard it recently from another celebrity person? Do you know about this? What does your Jesus think about this? What does your Jesus talk about to do with this? Do you know anything about this? Because an awful lot of rich people know about this, but you don't. An awful lot of big connections happen places like this that you're not invited to. You go to everyday people church. Why don't we talk about things that you're not allowed to know for a reason, and what you're made to believe is for a reason? Maybe it's part of the control and programming that you're made to believe that if you don't believe that, you're going to go to hell. But then you could do all the sins you want as long as you believe and repent. I don't know. I don't need to believe in it. I don't have to. Well, you don't, though. You don't, though. You really don't, though, because I see a lot of people talking about different satanic figures and different things, but I never, ever, ever hear them talking about this and what these people follow and what symbolism they use. It's smoke and mirrors. You guys have no freaking actually clue. That's the sick thing about it. That's the fun thing about religion, is the ones that they put in your face that they say are the evil ones maybe aren't. Maybe they're not the ones to worry about. Maybe not. Maybe they have a whole other reality that you guys aren't privy to, and that I'm not even necessarily privy to because I don't remember. They don't want you to remember. They don't want you to talk about it. They don't want people talking about it. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, like, and some people, it's the same thing. They feel that same fear for their own religion, but that's part of the programming. It's all designed to keep layers and to keep the separation and to keep people... No, I'm not at all. Exactly. Of course you would think I was referring to Satan. No, I'm referring to things that people don't learn about, that people don't have a fucking clue about, that are a different entity. Probably. Yeah. Probably. Yeah, and they do have different little centers around, but most of their religious gatherings are at a mansion, and it's called a feast, and there's children, and it's all different people that just show up. So what's going on with that? Right? Like, what do we know about that? You guys don't even know about it. You guys are all talking about Jesus and stuff, but there's stuff that you guys just, nobody talks about it. So maybe that's what we should be thinking about. And maybe all of it is an illusion. Maybe it's all bullshit. Maybe it's all layers of bullshit to keep you looking here in front of your face at the bullshit right here and not thinking about the bullshit happening all around you all at once that you would never see. You would never know it. Yeah, I know that. But so maybe those are the things we should be talking about. Maybe those are the things we should be talking about more. Instead of trying to ram Jesus down everyone's throat, maybe we should be speaking about the things that the Voldemorts, the things you're not supposed to speak about, the things that are not you're not supposed to know. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the stuff we should be worrying about and not worrying about making everybody love Jesus, because that hasn't been working. I think for like 1,000 years we've been waiting for the Jesus to come back and do something. And I think there's more of a chance that Dumbledore is going to come save us than that. That's all. You know? Yeah, no, it's not. It's not the Jesus and the Satans you need to worry about. That's like a front end. You're looking at the front end bakery of the mafia. You're checking out the donuts. To be honest. That's your belief, but that doesn't mean other people are going to hell because they don't believe the same thing as you. And that's what makes that religion so disgusting. That there's hatred and people that are like, well, you're going to hell because you don't believe what I believe. Meanwhile, there's like 3,000 religions and counting. There's 3,000 known gods. 3,000 of them, and every one of them, they think they're right. They think they're the king, the right one. So I don't believe in any religion that thinks that that I should be punished because I don't believe what they believe. And I don't believe in religions that have that much contradictions. I don't think that a sloth swam across an ocean to escape a flood because it doesn't make fucking sense. I think that somebody that wandered around a desert for 40 days that should have only taken them 4 days and thought they saw a burning bush probably just ate a fucking hallucinogenic cactus. Like, if you start putting logic to some of this bullshit, I don't know. Like, that's why I don't believe in it. Too many contradictions and too many child harm and trespasses being protected under the guise of religion and goodness. And they use that as an excuse, and they believe that they can do all these awful things their whole life and then say, oh yeah, but Jesus forgives me. I believe in Jesus now. It's fine. That's fine. I'm going to heaven because I put my dick in the holy water. It doesn't matter that I committed carnal sins my entire life under the guise of the church. Like, let's look up Catholic sex abuse crimes and even the Christians, all of them. You just search any fucking religion and then search allegations of crimes, child crime ring or something. Like, maybe you don't want to, I don't know, maybe you want to be careful with the language. You're just don't maybe searching weird shit, right? But they have their own wiki. Like, the people that believe in Jesus have an entire wiki outlining how many different child crimes all over the fucking world. I don't think I believe in anybody that believes and supports a religion that's covering up so many crimes against children. I think that's evil. I think your own Bible said to beware of false prophets, and probably the guy that's going to kill his follower, the family of one of his followers and livestock to see if they still have faith in them, and that is going to kill you or put you in hell because you don't believe in him, or is going to, I don't know, like all of these things, gonna forgive a P3DO after using their priesthood to touch kids their whole life, that they get a nice cushy retirement out by the friggin' wherever, overseas in Ireland or wherever, some nice little cushy fucking whatever, and bounce them around, no justice for the kids, because they repent and they believe in Jesus, right? Yeah, perfect, great. Working so well for us so far. Yeah, too much of it back to me. I don't need a man in a dress to access the divine. Yeah, I don't need to listen to a fictional tale written on the back of a camel by some dude in a desert wearing a burlap sack to feel close to the source. So it's cool, man. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but I mean, when you're as well read about all the religions as I am, because I came into this world being taught something that nobody knew about, so I studied all of the religions from a neutral, equal ground. I was not indoctrinated or brainwashed by the Jesus thing or the anything. I kind of was with this Baha'i shit, but nobody knew what that was, so their power over me didn't really exist once I removed myself from all of them, you know what I mean? Where your Jesus stuff, that's a fucking cult. It is a cult. If you think I'm going to hell because I don't want to believe what you believe, you are part of the problem. That's all. I don't have to. People don't have to. We don't have to. We don't have to believe what people were beaten and brainwashed into believing as children, as adults with our own brains and our own we have free will. Why do we have free will, but I'm going to go to hell if I don't believe what you want me to believe? That's weird. That's a little bit of a contradiction too, isn't it? Cool. So the person you think that you're worshiping is probably not a good person. If that is your logic. If this is Satan's world, and what religions are ruling this world? Apparently Jesus. Apparently Jesus is the winner, right? So maybe, just maybe, that's not the answer. Maybe that's not the right one. Maybe there's 3,000 and counting, and they're all right or they're all wrong. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, the Dalai Lama French kissing a kid. That's weird. Yeah, man. Awful lot of families get old people get drunk and tongue kiss their fucking grandkids and whatever, and people just laugh it off like it's normal in some cultures. And I don't believe in that. Yeah, like, believe whatever you want. I'm not telling you not to believe in Jesus. I'm telling you why I don't believe in Jesus and why you're not going to convince me. And your fear of hell doesn't scare me because I'm not brainwashed and indoctrinated in your cult, in that cult. I'm brainwashed in a different cult that told me how fantastic I was and, like, was just affirmations and it had the most beautiful poetry, but I think they might also be the most evil because part of their symbolism is the word evil. I don't know. Who knows? I think that the fear-mongering and the trauma-based mind control that comes with organized religion is all part of the program. It's all part of it. It's all part, like, all the religious figures and the military and the political people all got together to figure out how they could use to exert control and power over the masses. And, yeah, your fear of Jesus and hell is part of that. I don't fear that. I believe after I die, nothing happens. I just kind of become one with the universe, one with Mother Nature. I become a tree, or I become the sky. I become the air. I become everywhere and nowhere and everything and nothing all at once. And that's okay. I'm allowed to believe whatever I fucking want. You're allowed to believe whatever you want. No big deal. I'm sorry that I'm not brainwashed in the same way. It's not Luciferian at all. And if you're listening, it's not satanic or Luciferian. It sounds kind of like it, but you've never heard of it. So what would you know about it? I'm not triggered by Jesus. I'm annoyed by the amount of programming and indoctrination of people trying to shove their belief system down other people's throats unsolicited. Nobody asked for that. I think that's like a forced trespass. You're forced trespassing against my spirituality with your personal beliefs. And I didn't ask for it. Nobody here is asking for it. This is a very non-secular group for a reason. You can love your Lord without shoving it down my throat. I don't need your Lord's dick in my throat, probably. You can love him all you want, all day long. Blah, all you want. I'm not asking you to stop doing that. I'm asking you to stop expecting me to join you on my knees to do that. I don't have to. We don't have to. Nobody has to believe what you believe. 3,000 gods and counting, but yours is the right one. I know that's what you guys believe, and it's weird. It's pretty weird. It doesn't mean I hate it. It doesn't mean I just can choose. I have free will, just the same as everyone else, but you guys choose not to exert it the way that I do. So that's okay. That's your problem, not mine. Imagine, did I tell you? Yeah, did I ask you to worship me? Did I tell you to start a friggin' religion? Did I tell you we're gonna burn in hellfire? Like, probably not. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy. I think that a lot of that's made up by the evil powers that be, like King James. And you can believe it. You're allowed. Nobody's stopping you. I'm just asking you to stop soliciting it where it's unwelcome. It's not welcome here. I did not invite the preaching. And yeah, not every cult is a religion. That's true. Yeah, I'm not saying to believe what I believe either. I don't care. I actually don't. I think that would be complicated to explain exactly what I believe. And I don't expect anyone to believe the same thing. I think everyone should have their own individual spiritual belief system. And as long as they're going with a good heart and good intentions and not using that belief system to get away with crimes and trespasses against children, we're cool. But it seems that a lot of really sick and evil people hide behind that religion too. So I just don't know. I don't have to. It's not being hateful to disagree. That's the part of your programming that's broken. Your program is broken. It doesn't mean people hate you or there's anything wrong with what you want to believe just because they don't want to believe what you believe. That's called free will. You guys are supposed to have that, right? You guys have free will or no? I think you guys are a religion that are supposed to have free will. But you can only have free will as long as you do exactly what they say or you're going to burn in hell. That's cool. That sounds like super loving. What a super loving, not toxic relationship with your belief. Well, I mean, you seem to think that something bad's going to happen to me if I don't believe what you believe, but I have free will, just like you. So I'm confused what part you're missing, that I didn't ask for this to turn into the gospel of one religion. Sure we will. You will. You'll find out whatever you need to find out. I'm not worried about it. I don't think about that. I have better things to think about than what might happen if I don't believe what you believe. It does never crosses my mind until someone's trying to shove it in my throat. You know, it's okay to have a religion. It's okay to be proud of your religion. But you start sticking it in people's faces, it's kind of like a forced trespass. I think that would count as a forced trespass. And I don't have to. I don't have to subscribe. Neither do you. Neither do any of you. You guys can believe what you want. Just go with a good heart and good intentions and don't bring harm to children. Yeah, it's trauma-based mind control. That's what that is. You do what I say and believe what I believe, and you have to believe the same, worship the same bullshit, or you're going to hell. Yeah, sounds like something I totally want to sign up for. If you got to threaten me to be a part of it, probably it's not something I want to be a part of. Probably if I need to be terrified and indoctrinated from childhood for that to be worth my time, probably not. I don't think so. I don't know. No, thank you. But anyways, I guess, yeah, we're going to wrap it up here because this, yeah, it went totally off the rails and is going nowhere because we need to go in a circle of who needs to believe in what instead of actually talking about the issues in the world. And this is how it always goes off the rails because everyone wants to sit around and wait for Jesus to save them. And they don't actually want to look at the issues because they know that they can go and any problems they've created in this world, they can go and pray to their Jesus and get forgiven and go to their heaven. And that's fine. You believe what you want. I don't think that we should be able to do that. I don't think people should have the illusion of, don't worry, I'm going to heaven as long as I repent. I can repent. It's fine. No. There are unforgivable sins. There are sins of the flesh, carnal sins. Then I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe people that forgive that. But anyways, yeah, it's cool. You don't get it. He gives you free will to choose him, but you're not allowed to choose anything except the choice we tell you. But you have free will. But if you choose the wrong thing, you're punished. You're going to burn in eternal hellfire. But you have free will. But do what I say. As if to further highlight my whole point. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming out for that one. That's okay. Oh, I don't even know you, so I don't think I love you. I can't say that I love strangers. That's also weird. It's all to each their own. Yeah, everybody is allowed to believe what they want. That's the cool thing about the human experience. Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap her up. I'm getting out of here. I got other shit to do. Better ways to expenditure my energy than arguing in circles with people that have been saying the same thing for 1,000 years and nothing's changing. I'd rather be part of the people that are going to do something about the evil in the world, not the people sitting around waiting. Still waiting. I'm sorry. Maybe. I think the closest thing I've ever experienced that could actually be Jesus is this Nick Shirley guy, as he's currently being crucified for trying to expose the fraud and corruption in childcare. I think that's the closest thing to Jesus, but you guys wouldn't know Jesus if he came and smacked you in the face. Obviously. For everybody loving Jesus so much, they seem to be treating the one guy that I think is the closest thing to Jesus we're ever going to have in this century. You're all treating him like garbage. So what does that say about that belief system, if we're being honest? I like to think what you think about that. Do you love that? Is that part of it? Is that all part of it? I don't know. Oh, that's the different church. Yeah, because you guys have to split it up 47 different ways to make it more confusing for the people that don't give a shit. So yeah, you keep swimming around that fishbowl together. I don't care. I'll be out here in the ocean while you guys swim in your fishbowl. Believe what you want. Didn't care. Still don't care. Yeah, man, I don't know. But anyways, thank you everybody that just has an open mind and has their own belief system and is able to think for themselves and has the ability to have critical thought and to assess all perspectives and draw their own conclusion. Yay for everyone actually exerting their own free will. Yay for anyone that is actually thinking about how we could end the evils in the world and not just sitting around thinking, like, waiting for someone else to come do it. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say there. That's just like... Oh, yeah, like, this is why we can't get anywhere. This is why we can't get anywhere in a productive conversation, because everyone wants you to sit around and wait for Jesus instead of actually talking about the solution. We're going to sit around and bitch about the problem, wait for Jesus to fix it, instead of actually having a conversation about what we maybe can do differently to fix the problems we've had for hundreds of fucking years. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to do something different. I think doing the same thing over and over again for an extended period of time is the definition of insanity. Pretty sure. Yeah. So anyways, much love to you guys. Happiest of 2026. May the espresso continue to be served hot and fresh. May you all continue to, I don't know, just keep doing what you're doing as long as it's not bringing harm to kids. That's it. That's pretty much it. There's my sermon for the day. Yeah, well, the only people I feel like are the devil right now in this conversation are the people shoving Jesus into it for no reason, unsolicited, as hard as they can, forced trespassing against my spiritual freedom. Out here in the ocean with the sloths. Fuck yeah. Right on. Alright, well, much love, guys. Maybe we'll have a little less preachiness the next time around. I don't even know how we got here. Like, look how quickly it's derailed with, like, the most useless fucking... Anyways, alright. Keep your eyes open wide. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Red bricks crumble under my feet, a path that whispers a cursed heartbeat. Shadows stretch long, they know my name. Every step forward, it's all the same. The trees lean in, they're alive tonight. The moon's too scared to give me light. Follow the red brick road, they said. Where it leads, where it ends, no one's fled. It pulls, it drags, it swallows whole. The red brick road's got a price for your soul. Laughter echoes, but no one's near. A ghostly choir feeds on fear. Bricks are slick, they bleed, they gleam. Am I awake or trapped in a dream? The wolves don't howl, they just stare. Their eyes burn bright, they don't care. Follow the red brick road, they said. Where it leads, where it ends, no one's fled. It pulls, it drags, it swallows whole. The red brick road's got a price for your soul.